we have Winter Jam. We're so low key, but we should not be. Because I even saw Dave Egan say that the LZ Festival might be the biggest drift event in the world. It ain't. It's not. The biggest drift event in the world. It's right here, baby. 360 plus drift drivers. Over 4,000 people clicking the gates to watch. We take over the whole world-class facility, and it is drifting for 2 days. It is Sonoma Drift Winter Jam. And then we have a pro shootout that offers drivers a pro license to get into FD, ran by Formula Drift judges Brian and Ryan. I hang with them all weekend. I talk to them all weekend. They're like, yo, where you been? It's so dope. And my wife, she got to see this, and she said, fuck, this year you got your flowers, because my wife be on me, yo. She be on me like, why don't these niggas give you, like, why are you, okay, so look, this is a wife's stance, right?
Supportive, good.
Yeah, but the fact that she knows the inner and outer, and she's like, why don't you tell these motherfuckers who you are? Why don't you tell these motherfuckers what you do? Why don't you tell these motherfuckers what type time it is? Because she gets frustrated because she knows where I'm at in driving. She knows what I do with events. She knows who started it, whose idea, whose IP it is. She knows. But I be like, chill out, shorty, like it's all good. Who fucking cares? Right? The event's cracking. That's all that needs to be known. Everybody enjoyed it. But this year, this event was started by Lex. This event has been supported by Lex. He volunteers his fucking time. He's out here doing everything. He MCs on the mic. He doesn't even drive during the weekends just to make sure that the staff and event and everything goes smooth. And I was like, damn, that's crazy. This has been 10 years, and I've never spoke on it, especially not at an event. But they did that this year, and I was like, fuck. And my wife was like, yo, I want to cry because all these people is all of these people is all around hanging, looking, and you're emceeing on the mic, and they don't know who you are.
Yeah.
But then everybody that they thought started it didn't. He tells them, yo, this has been 11 years, and it was started from Lex and his friends, and this happened and that happened, and bong, here we are. And she's like, fuck, this is amazing. So when I'm sitting there talking to Brian and Ryan, they're like, yo, what's up? Man, we happy to see you. Man, we need to see you more. We want to hear you on the mic more. We want to hear you doing commentary. What's up? Where you be at? Where can we get you, in the mix at? And I'd be like, damn, that would be tight. I would like to maybe mirror Deanda. Maybe do Pro 2. I don't have to do Pro Series, just get in the mix somewhere. But when they're like, damn, and then they get to see me drive, and they're like, yo, you fucking rip. And I'm like, yeah, I kind of do. They're like, well, goddamn. And it's like, to get that kind of, those are the things that I like to hear and get when they're like, fuck, bro, you are the culture. That, people don't need to know what the fuck I do on the backside.
Right, and that's why we link. I know we link so much, man. Is because we do for like us, and then the byproduct of that is whatever happens of it.
Whatever.
The recent thing what I just shared, the people I shared with, you seen what I said at the bottom. Don't, you know what I mean? I don't want to, obviously the people who see it will see what's in the watermark, but it's like I did that because the guy asked me to put anything I want in there. I just dropped that in there.
Right.
But the yeah, I'm not looking for trying to because I can easily share it with, but I'm not gonna do that.
We don't fucking need it.
That's not my thing, man.
It's to the point where I've had my fun with this scene.
Yeah.
I'm going to continue to have my fun until I'm done, but I don't think I'm ever done with this, right? Like when my son says it, the bike shit's cool. We gonna do it up with the bikes. But it's these fucking cars. That's what
right here. You got pro cars right there, all sliding together, man.
I'm on the mic screaming my fucking head off, giving the crowd actual driver commentary, hollering, "Oh my God, here they come stacked up. We got Rosa Park here. We got,
yeah."
Just I'm having fun being a fan and the masters of ceremony. At this point right here, I don't give a fuck that I started this event. I don't care. I'm enjoying the fuck out of myself, bro. Right? Just like our event that's coming in February. Half the people that's coming, they don't know I started the group.
Yeah.
Y'all don't need to know. Who cares?
Yeah.
Y'all meet a whole bunch of new friends with this, right? That was my exact fucking goal. Because I started it when I started traveling with FD. I wanted to meet friends, homies, and in their area. Where y'all at? That's where I started it from. Right? Y'all, now it served its point. I started it in 2012, 2013. So 2023, this group has been going for 10 years. Y'all haven't known who started it for 10 years. So why do I give a fuck to tell you now? Now we're starting to do events from it. Enjoy these events. Become big. Because just like Sonoma Drift, maybe 10, 11 years down the line, they're going to say, yo, Lex did this just to do this. And they'll be like, damn, Lex ran the group? Yeah, damn, he just been a regular motherfucker in the group. Yeah, that's all I want to be. I might have great intellectual property that I've started something, but I'm y'all, yo. I am an enthusiast. Yeah, I've been driving. Yeah, I might rip. I never had a goal to go to FD. All I wanted to do was be dope, like blood, real dope boy shit, right? What a dope boy want to do? He don't want to be international. He want to be raw in his hood.
Right in the hood. Right in that little circle. Right on that block. Right on that block. On that block. Like yeah.
Whatever comes from it is amazing. We've done TV shows. We've done movies. We've done whatever. Those things come with it. But nigga, I love being. I'm so comfortable being like.
Yeah.
It here,
right?
Everything else is just icing on the cake,
right.
Nigga. I'm be getting the cake,
right.
Bro.
Yeah.
I drove with all of these dudes. I've drove with the FD cats, and they've been like, "Holy shit, boy, you go crazy." That makes the weekend for me.
Right there.
I don't need nothing else. When they're driving with me and Satan, them niggas was annoying. Daily driven exotics.
Oh, yeah.
But again. I didn't even go over there and say, y'all.
What is like this? The parking lot pimps or something, or
they're just very weird.
Oh,
they're
yeah.
just very. But what I did, because I watch YouTube and I do YouTube, I looked at how they did it, and even though I'm like, I might not like them.
Or awkward in person type.
Yeah, let me watch their process. Oh, so this shit that they do is fake and it's contrived. Okay, but let me watch how they get to that point of what's happening on the film. So it was just, for me, I soak game, right? I got to see what they do behind the scenes. With FD, I'm there, but I soak game. I get to watch how FD's ran behind the scenes. We meet Ryan and Brian laughing, damn, you know hella FD secrets and you never said nothing. No, it's not for me to tell.
Yeah,
but you know, though.
Yeah. And the fact that they're telling you that means that, like, if you need to, you talk to him about something, you know he's not gonna go to try to build himself. And I was telling my wife this last night. My wife was, every once in a while we get these sessions.
Ooh, look at me looking clean.
We'll get these sessions and like we were having lunch and I was running her. I'm educating her on what's going down. I mentioned about the Yahoo joint, which for guys who haven't seen, link came out and I didn't post it yet. Everybody's just been sharing it and I didn't post a single thing about it. And I just want to see how it goes. And, people sharing it. The event went from like 30-something people interested to like over 150 people like in an hour. And so I posted, I'm like, hey, man, y'all might have thought y'all were going to walk in there and get a seat. The Japanese know now. They know now. Right. And they got access to base. They're going to get on base. They got to find their way past the gate. They got to get a visitor pass. But I'm not going to. I was event coordinator. You know how that is where – you get all the phone calls. Hey man, can I get in? Can I get it? Like, dude, you gotta follow protocol, man.
You don't know how many times I'm in the middle of this.
Yeah.
And I'm on the mic, and motherfuckers texting me, "Yo, I'm at the gate. Can I get in?"
Yeah, I'm gonna drop this and go to the gate.
Yeah,
no,
like,
son, somebody working that shit. So yeah. So I'm gonna. It's only 3 people on signing on, which they're part of their production team, and that's because they're part of their production team of the movie. You know what I mean? But everybody else, you got to find a friend to get on. But what I was telling her, I was like, hey, look, so, because my wife's Japanese and she's speaks decent English, but teaching her, like, they don't really know how the world works outside of Japan. Far as even they don't know how I know how Japan works more than Japanese, if that makes sense, more than business, because they're not you're business or you're not. So
Right.
I was like, hey man, look, so Yahoo came on, right? So watch the trickle effect. 6 hours after that, hey man, yeah, so we're the publicity officer from Masala. We want to get with you. Bitch, I've been trying to get with you since fucking September.
Yeah.
I got the email traffic. I got the email. I got the read receipts from the email I sent. You know what I mean? That's the level I'm on. Like, I mean, I seen that you seen the email on this day at 9:00, and it's been 2 months now that the shit's on the front page of Yahoo. Now you want to come in, and that's where, and people out there listening and watching and be like, oh yeah, well now it's time. No, fuck that. You knew about it. You ignored it. So now when it seems like hot and popping, you want to be on. And like with you, man, it's like, you know, the whole TV stuff and stuff like that, man. You did it. You did what you did, and then like you said what you said about it, and that's it. And you moved on, and you're not trying to like make a goddamn school. I mean, say what you want. And whoever think I'm talking about who I'm talking about, but you know, some people milk the shit out of that. And then, and then I emailed certain people on that and like, hey man, how about come on a podcast and do that? And it's ignored. It's like, I got it.
That's what the coolest thing about me and me. And like you're saying, you see how Japanese stuff works because you see both sides of it. You see the American side, you see the Japanese side. Me being me, I've seen both sides of it. I've seen I'm going to be a celebrity and take advantage of my 15 minutes of fame every time I get 15 minutes. Yeah. And I've seen I'm just a regular cat and I had a great opportunity. I'm cool in life. I actually have so many other things that's going on. That show was not a pinnacle or a peak for me.
Right.
It was just something.
It was just another part of it was just another, yeah, I did that. You know what I mean? That's all it was.
The dope boy mentality, it's cool if I hit it big in another city, another town. But baby, I got me, and I got my block, and I got my town. And as long as I got that, I'm satisfied. Everything else is icing on the cake. So for like the small things in life that I think are wins, when I was trying to tell everybody to jump on sim racing because it's an advantage, you're never rusty. Mentally, you're always driving. Physically, you're always doing the bare minimum of driving. Pedals, steering work, shifting.
Right.
These are things you always need to be keen. You're not going to mess up with your hand placements. Never. You can do it in your fucking sleep. Please get on sim racing. It's going to help you. Trust me. There's guys that, mark my words, are going to age out of the series because they did nothing to keep themselves at top tier.
Right. Or like, you know, like we mentioned before, man, it's not pulling punches, man. Like you mentioned straight up where you were talking about what's his name? The only Rotary in Mohan. So he's like Mohan's like, you know, for him, like his I never met Mohan, but like Mohan actually exhibits is actually with a lot of for example, Ueno or XYZ or Kazuya Bai or all these other different names that you know that like they're badass drifters. But like they got the money to pay the entry fee. They just they probably just live for the fanfare of it.
Right.
Yeah. That's fine.
So with Kyle Mohan has lost in the top 32, goes to his pits and revs his car for an hour for fans.
Yeah.
And throws his stickers.
Yeah.
But dog, you went out in the top 32. You're here for an hour entertaining people until they go back to watch.
Most shit I've been knocked out. I'm like packed up, gone.
Pack it up. Though I've seen those laser focused drivers that when they fucking lose in the top 32, fuck the fans, fuck this event, load that fucking shit up. We can't pull out until the event's over with, but pack this shit up.
Yeah.
Pack this fucking pit up. And they pack the pit up, and then their trailer and rig just sits right there. And the car sits right there because the fans want to see the car. But the pit is gone. Those are not people that are there for the environment.
Right.
They're there for the job.
Right. And again, that's nothing wrong. That's just everybody got a different flow in it. You know.
There are two different types of drivers.
Right.
There are people that embellish in the element. You've got a Von Gittin. You've got an Adam LZ. no matter what they're doing, they're taking care of fanfare, their personality to what these people are. And even if they didn't make sponsor fulfillments on the track, they are making activation fulfillments, the photos and all of that shit that they could send to their sponsors because they had a bad weekend here driving. They had an amazing weekend with visuals of that sponsor logo and millions near it.
Yeah, so it's not a moment wasted. It's not like, you still get some content out of it, especially LZ. Everything he films is gonna get content out of it, and but yeah, man, it's been and then it's different things. Like, so what I'm saying, when people say, oh, well, yeah, I left, there was no fans there. There was like a local event, and like ain't nobody looking for you. I mean, and it wasn't. And on that note, with that, like, let's say if it happens, like a more notable driver gets knocked out, then he just goes away. Then somebody hit him up like, "Hey man, you cool?" Event coordinator, like, "All right, thanks for coming." And I've experienced that a couple of times with the last event I did in Osaka, because my car broke. Then I was like, "All right, I'll load it straight up," and then I stayed around actually for about 2-3 hours, met some people, handed out some stickers, and then the event coordinator was like, "Oh man, I noticed you're gone. Sorry I didn't get to," because he was event coordinator and he was driving. And that event.
Loved about Super D's like that. Yeah. They coordinate the event and then they drive.
Yeah. Like, I mean, this is competition though. It was like that. This is that. Yeah.
When I did my dumb shit of being up all night the night before because somebody wanted to pay me to come bring my car out and do whatever at their little event and all of that shit, I put that in front of me just chilling, my regular routine, getting some rest, and then driving up to the event. I went up there dead ass fucking tired.
I know the feeling, man.
Fun. My boy hit me, blew my fucking door inside the car and all that shit. And so when I packed, I was in my head, I wanted to pack up. But event coordinator, Julian and them come over. I know you ain't leaving. I'm like, shit. It's that honor thing. Damn.
Yeah.
I want. I do.
I'm tired of this shit, man.
Ready to. Yeah. But you came over here and you're telling me with so many words. You're not telling me, hey, don't leave. You said, I know you ain't leaving. I know. All right, let's go get the hammer, beat this fucking door kind of back, and I'm getting back out and I'm shredding. And then when the event's over, then you get that personal text. Thank you for staying. I'm glad you stayed. Fix that fucking thing. You're ripping. Let's drive some more. That right there made me say, all right, yup, I'm with Super D. Yeah. I'm going to drive every Super D event that happens that I can drive. Literally, that's really the only competitive or any types of real events that I've driven since then, besides my own shit, besides Sonoma. Because it's like, that element. Final bout dudes. Like I just did something I've been wanting to do for decades. Final bout dudes give me that same vibe.
Yeah.
These have been my homeboys for years. I've always had an invite. Hey, come to this. Hey, it's on the other side of the fucking world, basically Wisconsin, right? Yo, Lex, are you coming? I'm like, motherfucker, it's in Wisconsin, or it's in here. It's there. It's man, damn, I'm really a family man. I'm really at work. So when they had an event in LA, Lex, we need you here. I'm on my way, Chief. You know what? I'm calling off of work on Friday. When I get off work on Thursday, my car's already loaded. I'm driving through the night, and I'm going to get there, and we're going to rip. And that's exactly what the fuck I did. I showed up there at 6 a.m. with no sleep. We did an event that I've always wanted to do, gripping drift cars. Bruh, I've wanted to do that ever since I watched the hot version drift grip battle. Right? I watched Nakamura in there being a little too fucking wild and gripping. Arito is my idol driver. Manabu Arito and Nobuteru Taniguchi, and even Ueno. Those three dudes are my idols. All of them can grip. All of them have stylish cars. All of them are very good drivers. When I see that grip event happen and they're gripping the drift cars, and then they drift one part. I've always been trying to get that to happen in Super D. It's always been a good idea, and everybody's always been down to do it, but we just get so caught up in drifting.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, it's time to go.
Yeah.
Fuck. Oh, let's do it in like 30 minutes. When, track dudes are pulling up, hey, you guys got 30 minutes. When the track rental guys pull up, it's like, they're like, yeah, so clock's ticking, your time is almost up. So when Final Bout say we're going to battle the VTech group guys, I'm like, fuck yeah. Now, my car fast as hell. I already know it's fast as hell. I did have a boost issue. I did win my battles, but I say, you know what? Because I had to come up, I pulled a double header. I didn't get no sleep after work. Drove out there, drove all day. I had to get back to Sonoma for Winter Jam. I drove through my events. I won my battles, but I had to go because I knew if I leave here, I'll just get to Sonoma about 8 or 9 at night. And I've been up already 2 days, right? Forfeit my wins, boom, drive up to Sonoma for my own events. I leave, whatever, but I got to do it. And I got to show the VTech boys were looking like, God damn, that nigga's fast.
Yeah.
What happened is we were battling to a Final Four drifters to a Final Four VTech guys. Then those 4 went head up. I feel like I know I could have won it. I had a boost issue, but I could hit overboost for a little bit before the ECU caught me.
Right.
So I had to play with that a little bit. But I'm on a track that I know. I ripped it on Gran Turismo for like 3 days straight. I had my line dialed. I got out there, car gripped up. I felt it. Boom, it was done. But, dog, I got to achieve. And that's what I'm saying. Again, I just got these little goals I want to hit. Hit them shits, cuz I'm cool. I'm fine, man. That shit, to me, that shit was everything, and how everybody was surprised, like, they like, you're who we're relying on, and I felt bad because I had to pull out, but I was like, hey, but everybody saw, they knew what was up. I love that moment when everybody's like, hey, you're kind of the guy right now. That's such great.
That's because and the thing about it don't even have to be said. It's just okay. We agree that he's gonna be the leader in an apocalypse. So let's just go ahead and follow what he says and everything. Is just like, hey man, that's like the cool thing about everything like I do, man. Music and martial arts, cars is like you can say what you want to say, man. But when they press play on that track or when you on the track driving, like
it actually getting people's.
It's gonna.
Like, when music gets the head nodding, they have to say shit.
Yeah,
that head nod let me know that's in the pocket.
Yeah, one thing I know as a beat maker, like you don't tell because if you tell somebody you made it, they're gonna feel obligated to feel it. But if you just let it ride in the background, what I do, I let some shit ride in the background. Like I had some dudes over here in the studio, and I said some shit playing. And like 3 or 4 songs in, like, man, who made this? Like me.
Yeah.
Then that should be real. That's a real reaction versus you being like, hey man, I made this. You be like, yeah, man, that shit's cool, man. Go in the car like that shit was
because other than that,
trash.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. You're fishing for that.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, you like that beat I made, kid?
Yeah, I did it before.
Like that beat? You like that beat I made?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh yeah, that's what's up.
No, I had a couple of boys like, nah, man, I don't like that shit. And I was like, respect though.
Real. Yeah, exactly. It was real. But that's how it is when you fishing for the accolade, aside from when it happens organic. And I love that shit. Like this movie. This movie was literally an organic thing where it's been out for months, and then I need to see this.
Yeah.
It looks like it's something I fuck with.
Yeah.
Lo and behold, this is a movie that I fuck with. This is a movie that I really did. It was not a slow moment. Literally, the only moments, the first 5 minutes of dude in the factory walking out, getting into a little altercation with another coworker. Like that's like, okay, this is movie shit. But then, bomb.
Yeah, right into it. So that speaking on that, I wanted once it's public released, whoever what I want to do is just make a version that's just straight drifting, just all drifting scenes. Which will probably actually it's the movie. That's what I'm saying, man. And people are like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, dude, it's like little bit of talking, train. A little bit of talking, competition. Like they was rolling into that shit. Like, nah, son, ain't no warm ups. Ain't no D1 divisional shit.
No, yeah, he in the fucking D1.
Straight in there. Straight. So like, actually, all right. Now that I said that, actually, that would be.
At the challenge. They had the challenge.
Yeah, they had the Challenge Cup, and then they did. So that's what I'm saying. Like they really covered their bases because Suchiya knows nobody goes from the gaming chair to D1 GP, and you notice they kind of had D1 GP there, but they didn't mention. It was like
lights.
Right. Yeah.
So the cup was technically lights, and then they didn't say it was D1 GP, but it was D1 GP.
And also, what you probably gather, which will actually be hard for the novice or the casual guy, they don't know that they don't. It's like, remember with Madden, you could simulate the season and then get to the Super Bowl. So that's what they did in the movie. They simulated like, all right, yeah, okay, win, lose, blah blah blah, points. All right, we're here. This is the finals.
And when they show up, final, it was the final round.
Right. So we know that means there was rounds prior, and he points. Yeah. So that's where I'm like, man, maybe they're gonna like, oh shit, I can go from a game chair. Like, nah, you gotta pump the brakes a little bit. Yeah. It's like it's a little. Then like I like how they mixed in the fucking the conditioning. That's something I put up a video the other day. I had some dudes training and they were winded like from doing figure eights. Like they were.
So Jalen, right?
Yeah.
I make him mad push-ups.
Yeah.
And he's already in the sports, so he does practice.
He's running and all that.
But the push-ups, why do I have him do push-ups? None of my cars have power steering.
Yeah.
See that kid chucking the wheel? So Winter Jam. Evan Bogovich. He bought Odi Bachi's backup car, and that's what he'd been driving in Pro 2. He didn't have a car for Winter Jam. And I'm up doing my thing, and I say, hey, dog, you know what I'm saying? If you want to jump in something that makes you drive like a real man, you could jump in the vert. So he said, hey, don't play with me. Let me drive it. I say, go ahead, knock it out, right? Now, my son was driving it all day. Now it's sitting there chilling. At the end of the day, here comes Evan with a suit on. Yo, so you saying I can drive? I say, yeah, go ahead. I'm like, get in it. And he started up. I said, hey, no power steering. Drive it like a man. Foot to the fucking floor. Do not rely on handbrake because a handbrake does not lock up the wheels going straight. You have to be at big angle for the handbrake to work.
Yep. And going fast.
And going fast. That's what I'm saying. Foot to the floor. You do not lift this car. This is a dialed, locked in on the line car. That's how you drive.
I like those type.
No power steering. Understand? He's said yes. So he took off from our garage area with my car. I continue doing my thing, whatever. We go do whatever, blah, blah, blah. About an hour later, he's coming back in. There's even a comment on one of my posts on Facebook. He said, dog, that was the hardest fucking car I ever drove in my goddamn life. He said, I cannot understand how you drive that car. And I'm like, well, my son drives it too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is a car that is but you have to, there's only one way.
Yeah.
You have to be flat out. You have to throw it to angle like you mean it. And you have to be committed because there's nowhere else to go but where you intended it.
Speaking on that, like you watching you drift the RX-8, and then I got mine. Like I didn't realize because I didn't realize it was that tough to drive, dude. Like it was like I was like, because I went and I was like, all right, man, Lex slide this shit all the time, so I should just be able to go. And I was like, what the fuck's wrong with this car? And I was like, man, this shit's like a open diff. And then I was like, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
What is it? Helical is a torsion, right? Torsion. So I was like, I gotta go fast, no problem. And I had a passenger in there, and that motherfucker was like, what the fuck? What he was, because I understeered. He was like, oh yeah, this car doesn't feel like it's that much. I was like, all right, cool, man. You ready? Fucking hit it, and then I went in that bitch like fourth gear, kamikaze, flicked that shit, and then I'm like, okay, I got it. And then he's looking at me like, what the fuck just happened, dude? Like, you just understeered one lap before, and the next lap you knew that quick what you had to do because I've done it. I know
it. And you notice the RX-8 is like the FRS.
Yeah.
It is literally, you can be from straight 0 degree,
Yeah.
one turn, lock.
Yeah.
And so from full lock to opposite lock is 1.5
electronic
turns.
steering rack.
And the rack is light as shit. And the wheelbase is long as shit.
Yeah.
It's a 106.7 inch wheelbase. It's a chaser. And it's 70 inches wide. It doesn't look like it because it's a little bubble, but it's a long wheelbase and it's a wide car with no steering angle. So how do you drift those cars? With rear end grip. And how, if you don't go fast enough, the diff may feel like it's opening up because there's grip in the car.
So you can't do like a standing. Well, it depends if it's wet or some kind of thing. You could do like, I've seen when it's wet, you can do a standing J turn. But when you drive like a goon trying, this shit's like one wheel is whatever one gets the juice is lighting up and shit. So I was like, the dude's like, oh, is the diff open? I'm like, no, it's not open, but it ain't closed. It ain't locked. You got to get going and lock those fucking gears mechanically, and then when you let off, you got to keep on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, you watching you, I was like, man, this motherfucker is hard to drift, man. I was like, nah, son. Like, what the,
So I make my kid drive all of these cars so that he can experience it, and I don't give him no pre-warning.
Yeah. It's
like, yo, make it do what it's supposed to do. I mean, you know it does it because you've seen me drive it, right? Okay, so go. Don't give me no excuse.
Yeah.
Don't crash it and go do work. And then when he comes back after drifting it, and I'm like, now he understands this thing. I have to go really fast to make the car do work. And because he has lightning fast hands because of Sims, he can do that steering, bang, because he flicked it in on a high rate of angle. If you're this type of driver, it doesn't have enough cash or to spin to make that counter steer quick enough in that car. You got to be bang, bang, So when Bogovich came back in and said, God damn, that car is hard to drive, I did not have success with this car. I don't know how you drove it. And I had to show him a video of me sliding it up over what we call our summer jam, turn 3 to turn 5 at Sonoma, the track that he took it to. And I showed him a video, and he was like, fuck, this car does slide it. I'm like, yes, it does. He's like, I couldn't make it do it. And he's like, this is the toughest car I've ever drifted. I was like, good.
For Bogovich, what do you know some of his history, what cars he's owned?
So I saw him using the S chassis, then he was in Beamers, and then he had a Vet, and then he bought Odie's car, Odie Bachi's car, his spare one, essentially. But yeah,
so what I'm hearing is power steering. Yeah.
Like when I first started drifting, and I was driving my car, and I was drifting, and I was kind of learning. I had the baby deer legs. Then when JT brought the car over, and he's like, yo, dude, I don't even know how you're driving this car. This is towed out here. This is, my camber, it was just all over the place. He's like, I don't know how the fuck you're driving this car. Like, let's align it and get it. And then because I was used to trying to make success from the chaos, right? And when I got to the point where I thought I was doing pretty good, and when Justin gave it an actual alignment, and then I went out there and said, oh, fuck, bitch, this is easy as fuck now.
Yeah.
Then I started to settle in and get comfortable and think my way through corners, and I want to do this here and then this here. But Justin was even like, I can't drive your car like that, when it was fucked up, but I was driving it like that. So what my son is getting is, I don't want to explain nothing to him. You make success from the concoction that you have.
Right.
Don't tell me shit, because I know. I drove it.
Mm-hmm.
Make it happen. How you make it happen is completely up to you. If you make it look too saucy, like you did in the rain, I'm going to get in it and try to make it look better than what you just made it look, and then give it back to you, and then you make it look better than what I just made it look.
Yeah.
Right? only plan. That's your only goal. Because by the time when he gets done driving that, and he jumps in one of my other cars, he's going to be like, this shit is way too easy. And then I'm going to make the convertible drive like the white car. And then that's it. Because he's already got a cage. He's, you know what I'm saying? He doesn't have big angle. He just got the baby knuckles, chopped knuckles. So when people are looking at him drive that car, and when Bogovich drove it and it doesn't have big angle, he probably spun because it went to lock hella fast. It don't have angle. When you see me sliding at big angle, I'm on back traction because I'm on the throttle. I'm pushing that thing forward. Fuck what them front wheels are doing. I feel the grip. I feel it come around. I feel that has me in check. Let's go. So that's why it's so dope. So for the conditioning thing, my son plays sports. He runs around all the time, practices sports. But I make him do push-ups all the time because you better have them shoulders on point because these cars have extremely heavy steering. And low caster, right?
Yeah.
F don't do no fucking caster. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's just cool. And people are starting to realize, like some of the homies, when I see them DM me, they're like, "Yo, you're building a fucking monster." I'm like, yes.
I told you, man. It's you know, like I was talking to somebody. I'm not sure if you're in a settle group, but probably not. But I posted my son 7 minutes driving a little 1-minute clip. And everybody's like, cool. And I was like, hey, man, post your kids. I know, kids is one thing that comment for good parents because there's some shitbags out there. For good parents out there, good dads, good moms, that's a common, like, you always see moms, like, even if they don't really fuck with each other when it comes to the kids, they'll be like, yo, you're doing this, blah, blah, blah. But I posted up and it was a hit on a group. Not that it was some cool shit. So then all these dudes posting up and then there's one cat, like, simulation is in a cockpit. I'm like, who the fuck's this motherfucker? So and you know how I could have handled it, right? But I didn't. I didn't mention nothing about what I do, nothing about what I blah blah blah. Nothing that I just came from Zakuba 3 weeks ago, and I could have just wrecked the dude. Not just and then other people came in there and like, dude, you know this dude, like, that's the cool thing when you ain't gotta say shit, and then you're talking to him like normal. I didn't cuss at him. I'm like, hey man, they're kids. Actually, I did. I said they're fucking kids, and then I went back and I took that out. I was like, because you throw the fuck in there, it kind of seemed like you're angry. I wasn't angry, but I was like, they're kids. I'm like, this is the first time on it. This is the first day ever. I'm going to put them in a cockpit? No, dude, they need to fucking see the cars. And then we can graduate to the nose cam and then the cockpit. But the cockpit, going right into the cockpit, I mean, if you could driven a real car, then cool. They never driven a car, so they don't have any reference point of what a fucking cockpit is or what a steering wheel. So yeah, I put them in a third person view, and then some other guy chimed in, and then they just the dudes just start ripping them apart. Like I was like, I ain't gotta do shit. Like they're fucking kids, and like you're here trying to like flex on kids. Like you just probably got in a sim last week.
Big fucking dork. He probably 56 with no wife and no social life.
Oh, that's what I said. That's why I was mentioning something about the car. He was like, I have he said something. He has like a Trailblazer and something else. I'm like, cool, dude, cool. Yeah, it's like cool. And I was like, I'm glad I did because the people don't like people watching and listening. If you're a notable person, like and you put yourself in a position, a notable. I would say notable, like you're no holds barred. You're doing more than average shit. Lex is doing more than average shit. I'm doing more than average shit. It's obvious, you know what I'm saying? Like we don't get the opportunities we had and know the people we know by doing below average shit. You just don't, you know what I'm saying? So even if people don't fuck with you per se, they know about you. They know about it. They know about you and shit, and they get all weird and shit when they get around you because they don't know how to act and shit. Just act normal, you know what I'm saying?
You know what's funny to me? My son be playing Car X Drift on his Twitch or his Switch, his Nintendo Switch. And so he was driving an FC on the game or something, and the cats that he was in the lobby with, they were driving FCs, and they start talking about real life FCs and this and that. My son's just sitting here chilling, playing. Then when the dudes start saying, man, I follow this one dude on Instagram and his FCs is fucking tight, and he be driving with his son and this and that and blah, blah, blah. Jalen says that's me.
Yeah.
They're like, bullshit.
Yeah. That's the thing, man. You can't even be real like these days because it's like, nah, there's so many fucking posters out there. Like, nah, man, you lying.
So I hear Jalen laughing, and I'm in the sim room on Gran Turismo.
Right.
And Jalen's laughing like, nah, for real, I'm not playing. I'm not lying. That's me. And so they're like, no way, no fucking way, no way. So Jalen comes in here and he's holding the headphones like this. He's like, here, Dad, these dudes want to talk to you. They don't believe that I'm me and you're you.
Right.
And talk to you.
Yeah.
So I put the headphones on. I'm like, you're. And they're like, oh, I didn't believe him. I didn't believe this is his son. I've been following you. I'm watching this. So it's hella other dudes in the background hearing them. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my fucking God. Oh God. I was like, what? I was like, he didn't say it was him. They're like, no, he said it was. We just didn't know it was. Oh shit!
Because they know your voice is more distinctive than his voice at this point.
Yeah, and I come on, your shirt was shaking, right?
Yeah.
They would talk a lot in videos, so they were like, "You ain't." How odd is it that I just said out random? I follow this dude on Instagram.
Well, the cool thing about that, man, is it like I always and I've had it. It's not that we're not fishing for this, and like Jalen, it was a fun little thing Jalen did. That was cool, but like we're not fishing for it. When you're fishing for it, it's not cool looking. When you go up to a person, like I know I watch a lot of podcasts, and then like it's you can see celebrities bagging on each other when the guy they'll be with somebody and the guy they don't even recognize. Hey, you want a picture? Like, nah, they want a picture. They'll ask you for it. You know what I'm saying? They'll ask you. You know what I mean? Don't ask the person that's, you know what I mean, coming up to you like, nah, I'm good. You know what I mean? And I've been in that position before where there was a dude, I forgot, it was a basketball dude, and we were in Baltimore and shit, and he was like, you know what I mean, people was recognizing him and shit, and then he's like, yeah, you want a picture? I was like, nah, I'm good. Like, yeah. I'm good. Even if I was a fan of yours, which I'm not, you know, right. I'm good. I just don't require that to, to do it. And then a couple of times, I got a picture with Suchiya's son. And that was only because I talked to Suchiya's son in all Japanese, and Alan wanted the picture, and I was like, all right, well, he's right here. So, and he kind of looked at me. I was like, oh, Daishibu, and he's like, oh, Dozo. He just got the picture. I'm like, and then that was it. You know what I mean? And I was like, oh, arigatou gozaimasu, and then that's it.
Hey,
and moved on.
I wish I fanned out for Isami Amamiya.
Yeah, but that's not you, man.
I know, but dog, it was so random. I'm in Vegas.
Yeah.
Go into the Aria just to wash my hands, and then we're gonna go upstairs and have some dinner. And I fucking run into, bruh.
Yeah, it is wild.
The fucking man's man.
Yeah.
And I can't speak Japanese.
Yeah.
So I just say, oh, Asami, he's Amamiya. And I'm like, oh, shit. Like, in my head, I'm like, oh, shit, this is him. Because I just call him by his first name. He's Amamiya, you know? He just basically was like, yeah, that's me type shit. He said something in Japanese, and I said, fuck. I literally did this. This is what I did in front of him.
Yeah.
Fuck. RX-7, FC. I own, I drive. Thank you for doing what you did. You know, he's hand out to shake a hand, and I'm just like, then I'm thinking, you just came out the bathroom, nigga. You better wash your hands, right? But it's just like, damn, once in a lifetime, no pictures needed.
Yeah,
just personally.
Yeah, it's just what you experienced it. That's all.
The fucking man, bro.
And that, and on that, man, like that's what the one thing. Like I say, I like the social media from the aspect of being able to do what I just did recently for the people I did it for. And that was all. That was all me going to the store and getting a Blu-ray player. Like I bought that player. All that happened within 2 hours. All that.
Yeah, what are we?
The player to doing what I did, to encoding, to online, to link. That was like
I hit up 4 a.m. or something.
Yeah,
and he was active by the evening. I didn't think he was. Yeah, again, I didn't think he was getting Like,
well, I was going to attempt to do the live stream thing, but I was like, I didn't want to tax my system like that. I didn't want to have it, and plus that would have made it harder to. If
you were initially thinking of doing the
I was like, I didn't want to do that because then it's a schedule. Then if they missed the bus, I can't rewind it. Then I didn't want to tie my computer up, and then I was like, so I talked to him. He's like, yeah, that's cool. That's secured and stuff like that. But anyway, the point it went from pretty much your suggestion to enact it within like 4 hours, man. That's what I'm saying, man. Like shit don't gotta take long.
It doesn't. It does not.
It was like decision made, gear bought.
The moment sees it,
yeah.
Do it. We boom.
Yeah.
I can, I will.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it's like. Can, I will.
Yep.
And that kind of shit, that's what moves businesses.
Oh yeah.
That's what multi-million-dollar deals. Like, imagine if you and I were both millionaires. Okay? And just us being bros perfect fucking example. Rob Dyrdek, Ken Block.
Yeah, yep.
That's how they moved on a vibe. Vibes created DC. Vibes created Fantasy Factory. Vibes created Hoonigan. Vibes created a whole culture that started in Rob and Big era. DC was already big, skating bikes, but nobody kind of was really in the mix with who knew who was the backbone of that, right? But it's like that, dude. When the vibes happen naturally, that's how cultures form. That's how culture's born. The shit is just a natural vibe and do it. Like you saying about the starstruck thing, you don't get starstruck. Me as well. I don't.
But it is a respect though. Like, you know what I mean? And if the person's not being weird, I've run into some guys in the airport. Name doesn't matter, but you could tell like if they don't want to be bothered, or I just say, hey, Mr. What you call him, because I don't call him like, hey, Chad. Like we don't fuck. We're not boys. Unless he tells me, call me Chad. Say, hey man, I respect your thing. Keep doing what you're doing. Respect, and then keep it moving. And in their mind, they're like, fuck a dude. They don't want nothing from me. Somebody who don't want nothing from me. The next time he see you, like, hey man, I remember I met you here. Respect that you didn't ask me for my wife in marriage and shit. Let's and it could be that simple, man. Some people take it that way, like, oh, he don't fuck with me, and that's what I get in Japan, man. I get that. I was telling my wife the other day, because I don't do the fanboy stuff, like get on my knees and do all this stuff and make jokes and all that stuff. The Japanese, some of the guys, they think I don't like them. I'm like, that's just not.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to appeal to you like a 3-year-old. Like, hey, dad, look at me. Dad, look. Like, nah, dude. Like, I'm a fucking 40-year-old man. You know what I'm saying? It's just like.
So, you know the dude that be viral on Instagram doing all them dances? His name's Junebug.
I probably seen my sons watching it, but I don't know.
Weird dances and all the shit, and he's gone viral doing quite a few things. That's my wife's cousin.
Oh, yeah?
So we go to the family dinner for Christmas, and he's there, and of course everybody hops up. Oh shit, Junebug. All the kids. It's great for the kids. It's whatever. The adults and everything. Cool. So I see him come through the door. I know who he is. It's what it is, right?
Right.
So everybody dap up. They make their round. He makes his rounds, whatever. And I play the cut. I play the cut everywhere, even with family, yo. Literally, the nigga, I'll sit in the corner like this, under a part of the tile that don't got no fucking light in it. And I'm sitting in the shower. I watch the scene. I'm a scene watcher.
Yeah, you making sure.
I like that on Instagram.
Because even with family, shit could pop off.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you could see people's likes,
yeah.
When you went on Instagram, you could never see that I liked anything. But I've seen everything. I watch shit, right? So I'm chilling, I'm cooling, boom. All the kids talking to him, all the adults talking to him, all the youngsters that want to be in the mix talking to him. Niggas, everybody pulling their phone out. Follow me back, follow me. You know what I'm saying? They just want to show their partner, look, Junebug, follow me. But that's your fucking family. Right? So I play the cut, I'm chilling. The only person in the room he hasn't addressed was me for like an hour because I'm sitting in the cut. But you can tell that he probably was like, oh, what's up with Blood? Oh, he maybe don't know me. So when he walked over to me, oh, what's up? And I'm June. I'm like, what up, man, Lex? And I just, what up, dog, Lex? Boo. Bop, gave him dap, and I sat back down. That's it.
Yeah.
Because guess what? This is just a family event.
Yeah.
There's no reason I should care about who you are, or you should care about who I am.
Check them out now, though.
Yeah. Aside from you be comfortable around me because I'm family, and this is family.
Right.
Anything else, who give a
dude?
fuck?
That's one thing, and it's it's funny. When I remember back when this is episode number 200 today, guys. So I'm talking about back in like episode 50 something. Like I remember you mentioned that Jalen, like Jalen was with you more shorter, and like you're Julian and XYZ, and he was like, "Oh, Dad, you know him?" Like, yeah, I've known him since before you were born. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like, yeah, do I know him? Yeah, I know him. And it's like to them, that's all they see is that, they ain't looking at. It's weird, now Tom Cruise, like we know Tom Cruise. Kids don't fucking know who Tom Cruise is. They watch Top Gun, like, yeah, they don't really. It's not this. It's a timing. Timing is everything, man. So like when you get into that, their thing is this. Now they know what's the dude, the Beast dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where same thing Schultz said. This dude got all these million, but I never knew about him until the Squid Game thing, and then I'm like, oh fuck, he's been, this is his life, and his story is cool, man. Like he's seen that there was analytics, and he was one of the first people to realize, like, hey man, if I do this and do this and do this, blah blah. Same thing motocross, Ricky Carmichael and all these other guys. Ricky Carmichael was like one of the first guys to start training, like doing endurance training and training, not going out and banging chicks and because if you look at McGrath, Jerry McGrath didn't really, they didn't do wild shit, but they weren't really training like that. But he was just naturally good. Jerry McGrath came from BMX.
Yep.
And a lot of guys came from BMX and went to motocross that bunt the hops and all that shit. That's just with a fucking motor on it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Everybody that rode actual BMX at the track, taking the when the gate goes, boom, you pedaling, blah, 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 riding pump tracks, all of that shit. When they motocross, they were, it's just a motor.
Yeah. So the tabletops and all that stuff, that's all. That was all there. Just you got power now. You can power through it and do all that stuff, man. But yeah, man, it's kind of crazy, man, how this day and age. And I will say, man, it is one. And I don't need to say his name because you guys probably know who the fuck I'm talking about. It's just that when I break down that you're a normal motherfucker. And then they don't like that, man. They expect everybody to be like Doves, and I'm like, dude, you got fucking 300,000 subscribers, bro. Nobody fucking knows you outside of this little circle. Nobody. And you're coming across like we're supposed to, like you're controlling my and I seen it happen, and I stood off in the back and I watched all other dudes act like bitches, and I stood off in the back, and then I waited for that motherfucker to acknowledge me, and when he acknowledged me, then I'm like, yeah, cool, nice to meet you. And then he kept it like that. Like he kept looking like who the fuck's that dude like behind these guys not acknowledging me because they're pretty much fondling my balls, and he's controlling. Then he's like, oh well, I gotta go, guys. Like he's controlling the universe, and I've seen YouTubers do that shit, man. And this is perks I get to LZ, man. Like he has a lot of people around him, but I haven't personally seen him do that. And then I also seen, like, I met him personally at Atlanta. He came up to me. I didn't come up to him. Like, I seen him. I seen his icon. I can see he's one thing I know about dudes like LZ, they looking at everybody. Don't think they're slipping because
thing around them.
They're checking to see who the fuck's being weird, who got a butter knife. They ain't got security like that, you know what I'm saying? So
it's the type that has anxiety. He does have security now.
Oh yeah.
But that has anxiety, so he does look at everybody around him.
Right.
Who's around me that may not like me.
Right.
Okay, I might not go that way.
Right.
I'll go this way.
Exactly. 100%. That's street smarts. Without even being in the street, you ain't gotta be on the corner to know, like, hey man, cross the street right now. Don't walk through this group because they're gonna say some shit or they're gonna straight up fucking take what you got. You know.
I know quite a few like down to earth YouTubers that I fuck with and I interact with, like Christian, who used to be part of Eliminate, right? Mm-hmm. Christian got an FC now, and we've been cool before that. Right. But now that he has an FC, It's not I'm Christian, you know me type thing. It's, hey, yo, can you give me some FC pointers? I'm trying to figure this out. I know you are a wealth of knowledge for this thing.
Right.
And what am I doing wrong? Can you know what I'm saying? Like down
right, and that type right there is the type. Yeah, let's link, let's work. The other dudes, I'm like, I don't even. Yeah,
you want to give info because you're cool. Right. You're coming to me really on some AO. Can you please tell me something? Because I tried to figure this out on my own, and I would like some help because I love the car.
I'm gonna send you a link to something similar to that, man. Like one of my local drivers, pretty much dude named Jared and everything, man. He's young guy, respectful. His dad is an RX-7. He's Puerto Rican, so they in the rotaries. So his dad be schooling him with he got a RX. He got an RX. What is it? The FB, or he got one of those and
22C.
Crazy fast. So he got an FD, and his dad just run his ass like, yeah, you gotta put some work in to catch me. So, but it's cool to see, like, he's 21, his dad's like young, and it's cool to see them vibe together, man. Like, I'm gonna send you the channel, man, because like he's just starting out, but very positive young guy. He's putting in the work right now. He actually listens to when he asks me a question, he's not asking, he's actually listening and all right, I didn't think about that or this. Literally, the dude was gonna go. He was literally going to go from Masawa to Okachan to have him tune the car. I'm like, you're skipping over myself and like 80 other tuners. And he's like, I didn't know. Like, I'm like, you really didn't? He's like, nah. I respect. He was like, yeah, I legitimately didn't even check. Like, I was told by a friend to come down here. To do that. I'm like, nah, son. To do something that I can do in my sleep, and then. I'm like, why, dude? Why would you? He's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna come down. And I wasn't trying to like. Okachana ain't hurting for the fucking money. Number one, he ain't hurting for the money. He's probably not gonna be too thrilled to work with Americans. To be honest, they keep it like that because they don't know if they're gonna treat the tune good or go out and dug the shit, turn the boost up or whatever. So some Japanese don't like fucking with gaijins because they don't listen. They go out there and raise the boost up and shit and blow the shit up and then Top Secret fucked me over. Like, nah, they didn't.
Yeah.
No, they didn't. They're good. They're good. Even though that tuner died recently, they had some. There was pretty much some. I had to correct some dudes on the spot about Top Secret. Even though you can see I'm a shop. Naturally, you're a competitor. That's how it goes. But they're different. That's a different stratosphere. Blah, blah, blah. I do what I do. I'm millions of miles away from him. But he was saying that him and his buddies pull up their tunes, and they noticed their tunes are the same. I'm like, yeah. So what do you got? Oh, I got this. What does he have? I'm like, the tunes are the same because y'all got the same shit. You got stock cams. You got the stock air filter. You got a stock internals, stock head gasket. What the fuck are they gonna do? They can't do a billet block RB30 tune on your RB26.
Exactly. What needs to be customized? Explain to me how your specific setup needs to be.
Only thing they did was adjust for AFRs based on probably the fuel pump. If the fuel pump's lazy or alive or whatever, that's it.
Yep,
you know what I mean? So,
that's it's certain people like when I first was around Jimmy Oaks when I was down in Hoonigan, I saw his vibe. He only spoke to people that approached him and was, oh my God.
Yeah.
So I said, I noticed that. I was like, I'm not dealing with this dude. I'm not interacting with him. So the whole day, he's standing in the middle of the shit vlogging. I'm standing with the homies. I'm standing with Herd. I'm standing with Dan. I'm standing with JTP. I'm standing with Gary. I'm out doing this. My homeboy is running in. I go do this. My homeboy's coming in and driving to do this. The whole time, Jimmy stood there and did not interact at all with people. He was the special guest. He was acting like that. So at the end of the night, when everything's over and it's just everybody hanging and we're all talking in a circle, then somebody mentions Sonoma. Yo, we got to get out to Sonoma. Then here he comes over talking directly to me. Yo, I want to go to Sonoma. This and that. I'm looking at that nigga like, yeah, all right. Right? like, find your way to Sonoma then, nigga.
Yeah.
You know, it is what it is. You know, because that year before, LZ had came there. So now everybody's hitting me up.
So like what you're saying right there, man, is essentially he already thought because you know me.
Yeah, you know me.
That's not that right there turns me the fuck off, man.
Now, he's a good dude.
Yeah.
I know that he's a good dude because he's friends with Mike.
Right.
That is my initial introduction to you as a person.
Yeah.
What you gave off that night. So from my experience, and I don't run and tell people he ain't shit. I don't do that. But from my experience, I saw what you did. I saw who you did interact with. I saw who you didn't interact with. And I seen how you were. You did not care, consider saying nothing to me, which you don't have to. We're men.
Right. 100%.
But you didn't until something caught your ear that interests you, and they're telling me something that I need to do for an event that I'm part of, and then you say, "Oh, I want to go to Sonoma."
Yeah.
Now,
the way that.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, man, like, you know, for the young guys listening, watching, and stuff like that, you literally have like within like I would say 3 to 5 minutes, man. Like within 3 to 5 minutes of that first, like, you know what I mean, that window, like after that point, it gets, if you're in the same space for 6 hours, hours, and then at the end of the fucking night, and y'all been going like this all day, crossing each other's path, and you know, whatever. You know, he puts out videos and contests, knows Mike does that. He don't have as many subscribers as you, but you know who the fuck he is, man.
Think about that actually, because I was in Mike's videos, so he watches Mike's videos.
He knows you are. He knows who you are, man.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. You just brought my attention, but just a standard man thing. Yeah. When you come to a corner full of dudes, even if you're only there to come talk to, like if I was only there to come talk to JTP, say I didn't hurt, say I didn't know.
What's up, y'all?
What's up? Hey, Justin, back in blood, my shit running a little funny. Woo. Now, years later, here goes Jimmy having an FC. Jimmy explained in his channel he's always been wanting an FC. He always was looking for an FC. I saw him during the Hoonigan event looking at my car through and through. Then at the end of the event, when everybody's gone and that car's still there and I'm there and you're still looking at it and you see me get in and drive it and you're like, But I catch all of that shit, right? So now Jimmy has an FC and everybody, I shouldn't do shit.
Yeah, Hunt girl. That's why I fuck with you, man. It's like, nah, dude. Keep the fuck. That's I gotta make that shirt, man. Keep reciprocate that fucking energy, man.
Yeah, he tunes. He does RX-7 stuff. He has other guys to go to. I don't need to tell him a word. Yeah. He can do his own thing. If somewhere down the line he figures out something that he needs to find out, and there's somehow a way that I can help him, if he could find a way to talk to me, that's where he gets it. Same thing. Then a week later or whatever, Colette gets another RX-7, but she's already had RX-7s. Like I told you before, when Colette first got an RX-7, she was DMing me, hey, I need to do this and that. I'm in San Francisco area. This is before, she was kind of in LA, right. But I knew that she was in LA because she was doing all the rallycross shit. And
which is funny about her, because I didn't know, people were saying that she was, before the whole drift, she was like, she can wheel a car, like, so so people didn't know, like, they thought, I mean, because I ain't gonna lie, man, I thought she was just like a LZ side piece. I didn't know. I mean, I honestly didn't know. I didn't know.
He's her, bro. Yeah. But when I'm talking to her, I'm addressing her as her. You are a pro race driver. She got an art. I can pull the up.
Yeah.
RX-8. Why did she get an RX-8? She'll tell you she liked him. But who was she DMing that had FCs and RX-8s that she was talking about linking with his Sonoma? Now, there's no claim to be made on that. She liked those cars. But what I'm saying is when she got them, she found who to talk to. Yeah. Now, the biggest thing that I don't like that happened, when she asked me who can get my car set up, I didn't put her to my resources. I sent her in the direction of Garage Life, and we saw how that turned out.
Yeah. I've heard that's why I first heard about her. And so then you mentioned it a little bit. I was like, yeah, I heard about yeah.
And then luckily, how the world works, she links with Adam. Great timing, great things happened, everything aligned. He got her like also not got her like I just moved you to poverty. He just saved him. It's like, oh, I got you. Boom. We operating on this level, you and I personally. Let me put you in contact with this, that, and that. Because the garage life issue, if a lot of people don't know, it got kind of ugly. It got really nasty, actually. Now, Adam don't have to do nothing to be no tough guy, but Adam's Adam. So when he comes through, like, I'm getting this car, give me her shit, this and that, he don't have to do it in a tough guy manner. It's just, I don't want to hear nothing. I'm just here to collect shit.
Oh, they actually vlogged that or not?
No. Yeah. That's all about. No, sir. That's
what I'm saying. People didn't understand. Like, he knows when to and not to pull out the camera, man. Like, you don't vlog that type shit.
He's a man. You know what I'm saying? And so Colette spoke about a couple things on her vlog at that point in time, but that was with good direction. So that's why I always felt like I felt bad about that, because I know Justin was not going to have the time. I don't even know if Justin would have took her seriously because she was really busy. So that's how this garage life thing got so ugly. She's really busy, so her car gets left there for a long time. She's driving rallycross, Hyundai commercials, Bigfoot. She was doing a lot of shit. So it'd be a couple months, and then she'd pop back in. Hey, I'm in the Bay Area. I just got another FC. Blah, 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 blah. You're going to love what I'm doing with it. Hey, what arrow do you think I should... Like that type of conversation. It'll be a 5-minute block that we talk, but that's it. And then a couple months go by. Or I hit her up. Hey, yo, you good? Whatever. Yeah. I just picked up an RX-8. Oh, my God, great car. Blah, blah. And then so it was just super spotty, but now you see what she's doing and how she's moving. So when people are hitting me up like, yo, she got an FC? Yo, my nigga, she's had FC since 2012. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing new. When Jimmy Oaks gets an FC, bruh, he just explained that he's been searching for FCs for mad years. That's how he met some of his channel mates, right? So y'all don't have to tell me these people have FCs. Like, people get FCs. Christian got FC on YouTube. Hey, yo, people tag. You don't have to tag. I know, dude. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it just gets really weird when people do stuff like that. But it's like, nah, again, I'm not a starstruck person. You cannot leverage anything with popularity to me because I don't give a fuck, right?
On the flip side, too, man, some of those people, man, they can't take when you be like, nah, I'm good, son. And then you keep it moving, like straight face, like no theatrics, no stuttering, no I'm gonna think about it, no but, like nah, I'm good, thanks.
You're right, like
they don't like that shit, man. Like I can't believe he turned me down and this and this.
Like how would the interaction be with Jimmy now that we've gotten that out the way, right? He knows, we know how our initial interaction was. Nothing to be said. I've never spoken with anything about it towards Mike. What if he's out here and obviously want to link up with Mike for some reason, or Mike's around me with him? Like, you know what I'm saying? Right. Those kind of things could be possibilities. It's not going to be like, oh, nigga, I don't like you because you remember or bad vibes. If it's a, hey, what's up? Literally, I will be like, hey, what's up? It's like an initial meeting. But that was right before his controversy where people went on Twitter and pulled up a specific keyword. And
yeah.
That was right before.
Okay, so that was, okay, I remember you mentioned, I didn't know that was him. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So he's a different guy now.
Yeah.
So he could be completely ready to, who knows? He could have been somebody else back then. But that's not neither here nor there.
But the biggest thing too with that, man, is when again, the situation I had with the YouTuber that visited my shop. Man, I'm not dropping names because I don't need to. But it's just I'm at my shop in my lot doing my thing. This is my zone. You know what I'm saying? And I'm comfortable no matter where I go at. But he kept trying to like ensure himself. Like he kept saying to me like things like, "Oh, I'm not a beginner." I'm like, I know you're not a beginner.
Yeah.
I know, but I also know you're not fucking Top Shelf Pro either. So don't, you know what I mean? I didn't say, I'm like, yeah, I know you're not. That's why I was like, dude, you don't want this car. I said before you even said, like, you don't want this car. Oh, is it over there? I'm like, yeah, you don't. This car is for a beginner driver. Like you're not a beginner. I know that. I'll give you that. Yeah, I know you. I didn't even say it to him. I'm like, he kept. I'm not a beginner, mate. I'm not a beginner. I'm like, I didn't fucking ask you that, dude.
Yeah.
And he's looking around the shop and doing a little like, oh, that's nice. Oh, that's nice. I'm like, I'm not looking for your fucking approval. And I didn't. And my camera stayed in my pocket. And he didn't bring out one and then he made another video local at another shop doing some cornball shit, and like that's because that guy allowed that type of shit. I'm like, you're not coming in my shop doing no antics. And I haven't met JTP, man, but when you said about he told that dude to wait outside, that dude's my soul animal, dude. Like that's some shit I would do, and that's some shit I've done. I told the guy go wait in the car before. I'm like, your boy's here to buy some shit for me. You can go sit in your car, like he did some shit. Like a little bit before that, and I didn't fuck with it. And I'm like, you can go wait in the car, man. I forgot. Now that I just said it, I didn't think about. I didn't want to like let me do what JTP did. Nah, he just really did some shit where he said I worked on the car, and I'm like, nah, I don't fuck with you because of that, because you fucked that car up, and that could be that's money. Not could be. I guarantee you, I lost money because you told somebody I worked on that car, and they were like, right. Oh, you worked on that shit. Nah, I ain't going there. And so I was like, nah, dude, you can go wait in the car, man. We'll be now I pretty much told him like, yeah, he's only gonna be 5 minutes. You can chill. Yeah. So I didn't tell him like get the fuck out of here. I was like pretty much like, yeah, you don't need you're not needed. Beat it and shit, like type shit. So I was like, man, I just think it's a certain way men carry on, man. And like I say, if I can, and I say if because right now I got some stuff populating and I really want to make this event in February. So I gotta this week will tell me if I can put down on it and get that and everything. So it's just, people don't understand, man. I got business and I got this and blah blah blah, man. But you and like I don't want to be like I got shit I got to take care of that I'm dealing with now with particular companies in the States and blah blah blah, man. And after we get done here, I got to send out some emails that ain't gonna be nice because I'm like, hey man, you push my timeline 3 months. I'm not. So that garage life shit you mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
I've noticed people in the States that come here, man, and I had to tell one guy, hey, man, I don't do that shit. Your shit's going to be on my lift and off in 2 weeks. And this is because I'm not starting your car until I got all the parts, 95% capacity. And, like, so he's talking about his other shop, and, like, I'm like, I know when people talk about the shops, they're trying to say about what they don't want to go through at this shop. I'm like, well, whatever. I don't need to know that shit, but that don't happen here. Your car's not going to be on my lift for 7 months. Your car's not going to be doing this. It's going to be, you want this LS swap, blah, blah, blah. Let's get it done. Get your shit back, collect money, have a good life. Come back again. Right. So people get burnt by shops and then they got that PTSD and they feel like they got a voice. I'm like, nah, it's not going to be that way. So they're shocked. And then it's shocked when I'm like, I take the power because I'm like, hey, man, I don't need you to bring me ingredients. Like, don't do that because the shit you're bringing me is, I open a box. You ordered that 6 months ago. These pistons are oversized. Can't use those.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what I mean? That's the shit I'm like, I know what the fuck I'm doing. You think you know what you're doing from forums and Facebook and YouTube. And like, that ain't buying the parts is just step one. You know what I mean? And your plan should have been made before you put anything in the cart because that don't match with that. You need this. You can't install this injector fuel rail kit on the FD, which I, luckily did it during a customer car. You can't install it with this particular EGR valve or whatever sticking out. It's too fucking big. So you got to block that shit off, get a Helltech, tune it out, and bundle that shit up or get a harness and get rid of it. So luckily this cat did buy that blank off, but if he didn't buy it, I would have got to the install. And this shit took, that FD was supposed to be 8 days, and this shit ended up taking like fucking a month and a half to do a single turbo swap. Cause I get to one area, I'm like, I can't mock this up until I mount this. This kit is all it has to be mounted just like this. It can't be clocked this way. I gotta clock this. I gotta do this. I can't do this without this part being there. Then air pump is gone. I got to delete that. I need this pulley there. I can't mock this up without the pulley being there. So we got to get the pulley. And then I'm like, you did this, man, because you bought what you thought was everything. And I'm like, nah, we need this. We need that. But luckily this cat was chill. But I'm like, dude, that's a payday. I'm like, I need to get fucking paid. You know what I'm saying? I don't, that's, you know what I mean? I tell dude straight and I keep it real, dude. Like I work job to job at this shop still 7 years in. And it's not because I ain't working hard. It's just because that's just the dynamic. And that's the real fact. I'm not out there fronting like I got it like in the bank like that. And like, you know what I mean? People see that shit. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you got it like that, then why my car ain't fixed? You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, and saying it to say like, you know, with all that stuff, like I don't pay for people parts. This is not, I'll cover you for $100. That's all you good for, man. Past that, you got to pay me. Like, I'm sorry, dude. I just ain't got that. I ain't got that cap, huh?
Like JTP, that's my partner, right?
Yeah.
He had my car, and he was knocking shit out, getting shit done. And he hit me up like, hey, yo.
Yeah, straight up.
Hey, so I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Yo, this is going to be like 15 G's.
Yeah.
All right. You got that?
I would say not doing it. He's doing it because he has to. Not because he want to spice it up.
Yeah, right.
No, he has to do it.
Standard. I did this to do this. I did this to do that. We're running
cause and effect.
This. So that's why he was like, yo, this is going to be like 15 G's. And I'll be like, all right. And he'd be like, you got that? Nah, I'll make it happen. He'd be like, you need a couple days, like a week or two. And I'm like, nah, go ahead and knock it out. Like, I'll figure it out. You sure?
Yeah.
But he's doing are you sure? Because we're homies.
Right.
Because
you'll fuck that up. Yeah.
This is business.
Bro,
that I'm talking.
I just had the situation, man.
I'm trying to see, hey, can you knock this out? Because I need to get this done, and I know you're way 400 miles away. So I'm about to buy this shit. Can you send me the money?
Yeah.
How long
that shit is a business owner, and I've lost a lot of friends in the last 7 years, man. One recently. And you know, and it was like we ain't talk regularly, so it's like it's not like I'm losing out on some shit. We ain't talking like 6-7 years, but you figure you just go cold turkey right in my inbox when I specifically say on every fucking email, I mean every post I make, you can go back and there's maybe a couple I miss. Every one I put down on the pinkustyle.com. That
I've told people in group chats, why John don't talk to me no more? Did you read his post? Yeah. Well, why are you talking to him on DMs or on Facebook?
Yeah, when I tell you not to fucking do it, man.
Yeah.
It's like that. That's just like, I don't fucking care what you said. I'm gonna do anyway. Like that's like some shit your son does to you when he's 3. 3-year-old. Three-year-old, 4-year-old, 6-year-old, cool. 7, you got to start knowing, hey man, there's consequences. There's consequences, man. You don't do what you don't fucking do what you want, man. I'm so feeding your ass and everything. So
I've always known, I do when it's business, where I feel like sometimes, like my homeboy that runs ARC that has all my motorcycles right now, right? I drop him off there. I tell him what I'm looking for. He does it. We've not spoke about a dollar amount. But I know what's reasonable for the work because I do this shit myself. I know what the parts cost. And then I know, because you have a shop, I know what your labor hours are. So in my head, I can be like, ooh, this or that, this time frame, and I check with them every week because what I'm doing in my head, I'm like, how many hours? I'm estimating how many
actual
hours
work,
this out. So I get a general idea. Oh, I'm waiting on this. I haven't touched the bike in like a week or two. Okay, cool. Like I knocked this out a couple hours in on this, boo, boo. So I'm knowing in my head, okay, this is this. Now we have not spoke on price, but it's educated guess from dealing with shit with shops for years. Guess what? I want you to do something. Now, I hate the people that say, yo, I could have did that myself. Well, you stupid bitch.
But you did.
Why here? Yeah. But you did. Right? So when I know I drop it off to that, guess what I'm agreeing to? Your terms and service conditions. So, yeah, when I go to pick up the bike and you say it costs this, I say okay. Because guess what I just did? I agreed to it when it's an unwritten rule. Even though we're homies, and that's another thing. a lot of misconceptions about me and the work that I've gotten done on my cars or whatever through homies. People swear I be getting my shit done free. No, no, it's not free. Like I've paid the homies for all my work, and I paid a good amount on a lot of my shit, man. Sometimes it's been like, God damn, I didn't want to spend it. I could have did that shit myself. But guess what I did? I initiated the situation by bringing my car there. So guess what that means? I've agreed to your terms and service conditions.
Yeah.
And I would like for you to do it for me.
Yeah.
You know?
So see, man, what you did, because I in the States, I was around. I was kind of like a shop boy for this one dude, but it was wasn't a performance shop. He did some performance-y shit there, here and there, and I was doing the wiring, and he kind of took my work and all that stuff, and all that's the whole different story. But the so in the States, I was around businesses, but I didn't know. Like I never asked, hey man, how do you do your accounting? How do you do that? So I didn't know. So apparently, man, what you just mentioned is something like of a culture thing in the States. Japan does a different way. That's some different shit later. But the way I do it, man, before you drop your shit off, you know how much at the least you're gonna pay me. Like I know like how long it takes me to do a clutch job plus the cleaning I do, which is not optional because I know it's not one car I've done a clutch job on that the transmission was clean. That shit was 20 years of fucking grime and dirt and other clutch. Like you could see the old clutch material still in the back of the crevices, blown apart and shit. Like they ain't clean that shit out. So I charge for that. I know because I'm like, dude, and if I pull it down and that shit's like spick and span, you just want to upgrade, then I'm knocking off money. And I'm like, hey man, your shit was clean. Because I always do before and after. So that's one thing that checks me, and people don't realize the pictures are to prove I did the work. And also it checks because you'll notice, you did all these pictures and you always post before.
Yeah.
Why you didn't post before mine? Because it was already cleaned. I'm gonna still get the money. I don't need the fucking extra 100. And that's not worth my. That's not worth. Yeah.
For what I want, for the work that I'm about to do, dude. I went over to Farouk's shop. And Farouk's like, yeah, you can change your transmission here. When I changed my transmission, I felt so fucking bad, dog. My car is pretty clean.
Yeah.
That transmission made a fucking mess in his shop.
Yeah.
Man. I was cleaning up for probably as long as I did the transmission job. For probably longer.
Because you had a white floor, right?
Yes, dude. Fuck, yo. And then some fluid leaked, and then it was just everywhere I cleaned, I'd look, and I left a handprint because I'm down on my hands and knees. It was handprints, and then the shit was in my knees, and it was knee prints, and it was shoe prints. It was like, oh my God, I'm trying to clean myself out the shop because it was just like, this is why I don't want to do this shit. You know, it's like, yo, can you do it for me? I paid one of my homeboys to do the transmission and the vert because it's like, I could do it, and I could do it in 2 hours, but it's either going to blow my garage apart, and I'm going to be smelling transmission fluid, or it's going to blow my driveway apart, or whatever. And then when I had to do the one in the white car, because I was like, I know this car. I know the job. I can do this in an hour, if that. Let me just do it myself. And I did that shit, but then I was cleaning for 2.5, 3 hours, like, fuck, bro. you know.
But then with these cars, man, shit with the average, you know this, but the average dude don't realize like shit's getting older, man. So like it while it's there, it works. But as soon as you go take that bolt off, shit's gonna snap or this is gonna happen. If it's not a car that's serviced, like our cars, we're changing shit so much that our bolts will get a chance to even get seized because we're, you know what I mean, even for the better of like keeping stuff longevity. You know the axle has a certain amount of miles. Let's go ahead and change it before it breaks. So let's go ahead and get that out of there before it breaks.
Think about something simple like a bolt, a transmission bolt that's been on the bottom side, a transmission mount, right?
Yeah.
On the bottom side of that car for a minute. And then you had an oil leak somewhere. Road, 100,000 miles of road grind. So when you go and pull that bolt out, regular goofballs just like, whatever, sit that dirty bolt or that dirty, filthy, oily bolt, sticky bolt.
Yeah.
On the ground. Then when they go to put it in, if they don't think about it, you or I might spray it with parts cleaner, wipe it with the towel, clean the threads, and then run it in. What if this goofball just picked it up and a fine piece of cement or anything is on the backside of the
Yep.
threads, and
Man, you just
go,
crunch that shit all up in there, man.
they go and run it in when it impact.
Yeah,
And
that
they
shit.
ripped all the thread. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? It's this
Yeah,
simple shit
and
like
because it's just
like,
dirty, like you think it's on there, and it's actually the rock making that bitch. Because I've done it. And luckily I've made all the mistakes I made way before my shop. So like, all right, don't do that, don't do that, do this, don't do that. So when I get my shop, I'm not really. Only thing I'm learning in my shop is what works for business in my area, because that's what one people don't realize. Like, bro, all these shops in the world, they all operate on a different frequency because it's a different area. Unless they're next door to each other, which is not good for competition, and they do the same thing. But you rarely see a performance shop. I've never seen a performance shop across the street from a performance shop. Never.
right.
That's
Right.
just stupid of the business owner to open up. So you'll see in my hood where I'm from, you'll see a transmission shop. I mean, literally on two transmission shops on the same block across the street from each other, because it's so packed and they're so busy that you don't have time. I'm gonna go across the street. I've seen shop places in where I'm at, like little like rinky dink garages. They do shit work, but they're all in four corners, like a garage, and a person's gonna go to whoever fucking get them in as soon as, you know what I mean. So it's just like, and you go there, and then it's just weird, man. The people don't take into account. And I'm like, when people start, I'm like, hey man, well, my dude like this, I'm like, well, your dude like this is in San Diego, and he's American in America. I'm fucking in Japan, a black dude, and I'm running a fucking performance shop by myself in northern Japan. You know what I mean? I'm like, nah, bro, like you can't compare me to that. You know what I mean? And I don't like when dudes do that in my area, man. So it's just like, it's kind of crazy, man. But all that shit kind of getting out the beat. We already did live from shit. That's it.
But I was about to wrap back onto that. Yeah. But that's kind of why I noticed her cleaning threads on nuts and bolts and cleaning the coilovers, because that's fucking so important. Justin told me it's not. I learned to drive on my own, technically. I learned to work on cars on my own. I did engine swaps and shit before I went to Justin's shop, right? But when I got to Justin's shop, I learned the efficient way to do it all and how to look at it.
Right.
And then I learned how a clean car makes your work go by so much faster and is so much more enjoyable. Because what did I just say I hated about a transmission job? The filth, the smell, the fluid. Now imagine doing that job without the filth, the smell, and the fluid. It's literally an hour of the most enjoyable. It's, bruh.
Yeah.
4 bolts on the back. Take those out. Slide the drive shaft out. Put that down. If you have one, a cut drive shaft. Put that in the tail shaft.
Well, I got the kit for it. I got the multi kit.
Right. Slam that in here. Now you're driving out the way. It's easy to do when you're on the lift. You rotate the wheel. Boom. But you and I know when you down on there under the ground and you try to twist it by the drive. Or got a limited range. You trying to reach a wheel and rotate the diff to get it. Dog, when it's up there and you're using it at height, it's like bong, twist, bong, twist, bong. It's done.
Use your power.
That goes in. Get my gun. I go get my extensions. Hit my bolts around the transmission to the motor. That's free. Good. All right, get the transmission stand. That's up. 4 bolts. Boo-bow. Transmission off. Slam the new one in. 7 bolts again. 4 bolts here. Hook the starter up. Done. Tail shed that out. That in. Bolt in. That job is done. Yeah. That can be.
Speaking on that, man, like, it's weird, man. It's like, it's like, I was like, man, I figured this would be, because, we're content creators, so it's like, we're going to create within a realm of not going outside of ourselves. And what I mean by that is not being somebody we ain't, doing some clown shit, throwing engines on the Whistling Dixie Cat. That shit, maybe he's the greatest guy in the world, but that particular shit, it's just like, nah, I can't thumbs up that. I can't be like, yeah, man, that's cool. Like, nah, it's not. It's dumb as shit. It's just not my, he might be a great guy, but that particular shit is just like Japanese are mailing me like, hey, man, is this your friend? Because they think all Americans are friends, by the way. They think all Americans. I'm like, I don't know that black guy over there. I've never seen him before. We didn't grow up together. So they think, especially if you're the same color, they think you're fucking family. But
right.
man, it's like I did the video for the and I'm gonna get extra because it's like we're at episode 200, man. So we whatever, man.
Yeah,
but
funny,
the
man.
I did that joint the GTR engine. I pulled it out 1 hour.
Right.
The Skyline joint live, and you figure like. You know what I mean? Like I figure like, you know, all these, you just go and search how to remove an engine. I put all the tags that you can put in there. But it's like I didn't show them. I wasn't like, hey, let me stop and talk and tell you about my girlfriend. I'm like, nah, I mounted that shit on the camera. I pressed record and I just worked with music in the background, man. It did get a copyright pop because some of my samples popped up in there. But yeah, man, it's like that. It's just like you figure shit like that. But it's like people don't want that type of shit. Maybe 10, 13 years ago, that would have been a cool video, but now they want you to be talking and be all on the camera and stop and start and go to the store and get parts you forgot. I'm like, I got everything. I got the transmission seal. So that way, you know, even you see, like you mentioned, I didn't have no fucking big, I know what the water, I know when I take that hose off, the water's going to go like this and then down.
Yep.
So I got I got 2 buckets right there and 1 on the side. It's going to do the same shit every time. It's going to hit the cross member. And it's going to fucking go like this, hit the diff, and go down. So there's no water on the floor. There's none of that. And people just like, and they don't even like, it's not until you go to do that shit. Like I know people who will take an hour just to get the engine harness off. Just to get the harness off.
I did a video. I did a video with Jeff.
Yeah.
He broke down the vert engine when I just wanted to push it to get
YouTube shit right here.
Oh. We wanted to break it down to refresh it for Jalen before Jalen started driving it. I took the motor out, and literally the video was too short.
Yeah.
I had to do some extra shit because the video was too short. Because the motor is, rotary motor is easy.
Yeah.
Take off the fucking coolant lines, take off the intercooler shit, the 7 to 8 bolts on the back of the transmission, and there's 2 bolts on the bottom under the engine, and then the fuel line, and that motor is out. The video's too short. Yeah. Then we built the motor. We put the motor together. I broke it down with Jeff's instruction in 45 minutes, from an entire keg to all parts in a bin in 45 minutes, and then he built the motor in 45 minutes.
Oh, so I got 2. I got one with the there's one with the engine in my S13, but I wanted to do one in a native big because it would take you 5 hours to do that. And actually one guy tried to call me out at Mubara. I was like, yeah, I'd do it in an hour. Then I was like, oh yeah, I was like, all right, well, I'm talking. That was a GTR engine in the S13. All right, so cool, yeah, maybe. And he was like, I don't think so. I did the GTR one. I think it was an hour and some change, man. So it was like, so what we talking about? 30 minutes? You talking about you can trump me on that? Like you can't fucking do that. Like, get out of here, man. Like it's no just.
Why the way I am? Put your money where your mouth is. Bet me. Send me the bread, and if
so
you
I
do
did
it,
I know he's seen it.
Oh yeah, but yeah, that's how you just got to do it. You just got to do it. And then be like, when I say what I say, next time I say it, just say, yeah, that nigga, he ain't lying.
Like, it's not your fault. Like, yeah, that's me. That's my. You don't just. Then now I'm at the point where, dude, I don't even I don't know how it was for you, man. But when I grew up, man, I was one of those dudes that if I found some cool shit, I kind of did it now with the Lifehoon, but you know, whatever it is, it's cool. Mm. But like, in a way, I'm not like trying to go out. I'm not a Jehovah's Witness with it, but. I remember when I was seeing, for example, the Initial D, and it actually turned out because guys actually gravitated towards it. I was like, hey, man, y'all got to check this shit out. But it was a point when I was in the cars for like the first 6 years, I felt like everybody had to experience or see what I saw. And, you know, and then I'm like, well, fuck this, man. I'm doing it for me. You know, if they don't want to, you know, vibe with it, then I'm not going to go out of my way and get angry because they don't want to see what I'm doing or this, and this. So it's like, hey, man, like, if you don't believe, when I talk to somebody and they, like, kind of got that, I don't know, man. I'm like, I don't know either, man.
Yeah. I'm like, first started street racing. It was just me and my brother. Me and my brother would go to the street races. We both were in our cars. He had an Integra, I had a Prelude. We both went to the street races. Then fools would be like, damn, where was y'all at last night? We was at the street races. And then fools would be like, word? Be like, yeah, you should come. if it ain't no then you don't have to come, right? But when we took cats, then it was like, oh shit, this is the craziest thing I ever seen. Y'all running from the cops all night. Y'all go to the spot and setting up races and getting races done. Damn, that car clean. Damn, that car clean. And what do you mean don't wander over here? You see this car? This car hella clean. What? Oh, don't come over there. Oh, cops coming. Oh shit.
Yeah.
And then they got to the point where they were going to the races, so then we'd be going to the races. So then it was like, you sparked it. You always share or ride in somebody's horizons by sharing an experience with them. Then when it was, I used to be, because everybody would come to my house, I had the big ass floor model CRT TV, huge motherfucking 60-inch sitting in my living room. And I was always playing option videos, Wangan Freeway, or Initial D. I would always play it. It would just always be on repeat or loop. So when fools is chilling, they could be talking about some other shit. They could be talking about basketball. The background in my house was always a huge monitor playing option shit, drifting shit, car shit, all the time. To the point where fools would be hitting me up, yo, what video were you playing the other day? I'm gonna come through. I'm trying to check that shit out. I saw that Supra and was like, damn, what the hell? What's going on?
Yeah.
And then they come over on like a Sunday where nobody had nothing to do, and we would purposely, everybody be sitting around on all the couches watching option videos. Then they got into it, and it was just like that shit spreads. But that's what I'm saying. Organically, right? Just a good vibe creates a culture.
Yeah.
So for the hood cats that I had hanging out at my house, we in the hood. But now all these cats are in the import cars. They're into street racing. They're into drifting. They're into.
Goddamn, I know this video. I can't find a goddamn video. I'm like scrolling forever and shit.
But yeah, that's just how culture's made, yo. That's how culture spread. That's how things happen. It's just organically when shit goes on. But yeah, when you share shit with your people, it just becomes the thing that y'all do now. Yeah. Especially if you do it, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, it is what it is, man. We're like I'll say like we're tweeners, man. Like we're the dudes that are like, you know, we're old enough to know the old shit, but we're also like young enough to, you know, to take advantage of like because I think like 10 more dudes who are like 10, 15 more years older than us are the ones that like they don't fucking got no Instagram shit and they ain't got no, you know, if you don't believe what I'm saying, fuck you, you know what I'm saying? And not that we ain't been doing that, but like you can literally go on our shit and click and sit on the toilet and be like, damn.
Link, right?
Yeah.
I've had a Vimeo since 2007.
Bro, I got a video. It's my last post 14 years ago.
Yes, yep. I looked at it when you sent me the. I started looking at it. I said, "Damn, you got an old ass."
Yeah, then you notice that shit was like 40p.
Yeah, 240p.
Because it was like the camera I had wasn't even 1080, and you know,
and that's how it was like megapixel. And I would upload to Vimeo instead of YouTube.
Vimeo was the first that had HD, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
If it wasn't HD, it always played clearer.
Yeah.
Than YouTube. That's why I wasn't. My oldest videos was I think it was 07, but I was in Vimeo since like 05 or something.
Yeah.
And maybe 06. I'd say 07 is my oldest YouTube video, but I was already uploading shit on Vimeo, so it was like, damn, when you saw it, you know, and I had to log in. So when I logged and looked at shows, I went to I was like, God damn. But it's like those
shit,
weird.
I got shit on Street Fighter though.
Right? Yeah. See, I uploaded to the torrent sites, but see, that's the thing though. We're that generation that the stories that we tell. Give us a couple minutes. I'm gonna go find.
That's the cool because the dudes and that was like the dudes back from the 50s and all that stuff. They just did it and like they did and you read about them. The ones that did it. You read about them in the magazines and the documentaries and blah. But now it's like it's cool because you can tell your story. I think that this particular period is gonna be the most information when somebody comes back, you know, 300 years from now and find shit. If they could find the data, like we don't even use fucking, you know, everything is, we don't use they won't even, probably like, by that time, if the shit's still around, they probably won't even have hard drives. The space is just the space. Mm-hmm. You save the data in the air or some shit.
Yo, people are already in my comments saying, yo, you are documenting something from start. We can watch. They say we can watch from start to finish. Jalen from 3 years old, the first time he drove his it's actually sitting right here, his Razor drift kart. They're like, we've been watching this kid since he was 3, and now he's 14, 15, and he's drifting a real car. They're like, the documented story that you're going to be able to put together and show. That this dude said in the comments, when he gets his first championship, the start to finish is going to be crazy because you got everything on video.
Yeah, and that's the cool. I remember like some of the celebrities you could tell you'll see like you're watching a documentary and the parent knew that this kid's gonna be not because it's my kid, but this kid has something special.
Yeah.
Start recording and then you'll see the home video shit mixed into like. But now that everybody got videos just to have videos, I even got a family folder where because when I go through my phone and purge it, I never deleted like I need some space. Like I always save whatever I record for my kids. I send it to the Dropbox.
Always, brother.
Even if it's
I can roll through my phone. Yeah. I'll delete any fucking video of a car, bike, or something. I have in my phone. I'll just show my wife every single moment or photo or video of my daughter's is 6 days old. Yep. 6 days older in my phone. I have everything of my son that I go when I was on Facebook in 2009 and he was 1 or 2. I go and I grab that and I save it and it's in my other phone. So I got one phone for my son, one phone full of my daughter. If I space, everything has to go. Yeah. Those photos aren't going nowhere, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't like when I go through my shit, like actually I got the cool thing about Dropbox, I pay a good amount of money for it because I use it actually I got a feature on mine that actually as soon as I snap the picture, it's uploading. So I don't even have to think about it. It's just it already goes there and it for business too because I don't realize, you don't realize, man, the fucking picture size. So I had about 28 gigs of fucking pictures. Mm-hmm. I'm like, God, because they're like 4,023 by this, high res shit. So I'm like, man, where the fuck is all my space going on my phone? I'm like, oh, pictures. So I just go in there. But then again, when I go and highlight all the kids stuff, I can see what it is. And then I unclick it, uncheck it, deselect, and delete the other shit. And then what happened at the end when I deleted all the kids stuff will just keep populating. And then what I do is I move that whole shit over to I got a family folder. Because I mean it's like that stuff, man. It's like it's just cool to look back on. And even now that they're 6 and 4, when they pull up a picture of them 2 years old, they like oh, that's me. I'm like,
that's how my wife is. Yeah. She has her pictures or whatever, but I literally have pictures. Because, like I said, I wasn't able to be there when she was born. I was in Canada. So from 6 days old, I was just taking photos. Because who knows what she's gonna do? It doesn't fucking matter. But this is my daughter. Yeah. You know. And I never thought.
You get the guys who they be planning this shit. Like my one dude. He did this thing where his wife he did a picture for every month. Of like the stomach getting bigger, and then like he did the she was like standing there, and then like she's holding the kid, and like he's like artsy type of dude. And like I noticed this one thing, this dude over 22, 23 years, him and his dad do this particular picture or something, and like every year it is just keeps going and goes. That's like pretty dope. That's pretty dope stuff. But that's more of an artsy type of mindset and.
Stuff is like we grew up on Wonder Years, right? Yeah. From the intro, that being organic looking, organic. So everything is organic. Maybe my daughter,
like not pre-planned.
Not pre-planned at all. When I pick my daughter up from school, and her and I are literally just talking about how school was. She's like, "Daddy, I know math. Ask me anything." She don't know anything in math.
I know math, son. Let me do the book. Let me do the books.
Kid, right? I know the answer in math, but those things I already peep it. Like when we're talking, I'm like, oh, she with it. Yeah, boom, start filming, and I don't like, hey, say that again. No, I already know. I know the moment, and the moment's coming. Boom, bang, bang.
Dude, that whole. Remember, I posted my. I felt bad as shit, man, because my he was asking where is his, right? And I actually I made a mistake and hit picture mode. So I got the picture when he started like that, dude. I swear, man, I did not teach. I didn't like say, hey man, hold the brakes or do this or do that. They both figured out on the same day within 30 minutes how to do burnouts. And like the young one couldn't do, like he didn't know so the older one figured out if he stands in front of the pegs and it's not gonna go nowhere because it's like the mud is going. So he was like, man, I was like, oh, he was doing it and I turned around. I was like, oh shit, and I hit the thing and he looked back at me. I was like, I didn't get his, but the young one he kept fucking stopping, riding the bike, and I was like, I hear the engine like, wham, like, come on, man, what are you? He's trying to do a burnout and shit, right? And then when he did that, when he pulled up on the grass, he figured out. I'm like, bro, he's 4, but he figured out if he high centers the bike, it's going to spin the wheel. So he high centered the bike, and then when he did the first burnout, it blew the little dirt away, and then after that, the wheel was just kind of spinning. So so people didn't know that was a 2-stroke making smoke, not the wheel. You do it, but man. I turned around, I heard the bike. And I just pressed record and everything, so that wasn't like I didn't program. And when he did a little peace sign, he did that on his own. So that shit like that is like, you know what I mean, it's cool to, to have this stuff and utilize it the proper way. And I put it out there for friends and family to see stuff and things like that.
And I was freaking all the elder ladies out at the family gathering.
Yeah.
And then, oh, you got Jalen riding motorcycles. I get so nervous you see him riding motorcycles, blah, blah, blah. I said, oh, he's fine. That's not who you worry about. Worry about Nicole riding the Zuma. They're like, what do you mean? And I'm like, Nicole rides the Zuma. They're like, what, with you? I say, yeah, of course. I'm not going to just let her go by herself. But they're like, but she's on the back. I said, no, she rides it. She does the throttle. She controls it. She controls it around the neighborhood. They're like, what? I pull out the video, and they're looking like, oh, my God, she's riding. Yeah, I just said. I literally just told you knows.
My phone is blowing up, man. But everybody's, dude, great, awesome, like
the movie.
Like I already know. I was like, enjoy. I was like, enjoy, man, because like they're like, oh, I can't believe. I'm like, yeah, exactly what we're talking about right now.
It's a Friday night, and they're probably just sitting down now, because like me, like you see, I watched it 3 times because the first time I watched it, I got up, it was 4 a.m, and I had it playing, and I stayed in bed for about 30 minutes, but then I'm playing it as I'm brushing my teeth and washing my, getting dressed, and then I'm in traffic driving on the freeway looking. I'm like, no, you got subtitles.
One thing I told everybody, man, is you got, like, I got a studio here, so do you got it? You have to have you need. Just like you have to have a sound system, man. The sound is the sound is bro, it's deep.
The last one I just watched, I went and turned it on my sound bar and had it on, and I was like, yep, again. And so I've watched it 3 times, and each time I watch it, I'm watching the whole thing because I'm like, am I missing something? Did I miss a nuance? Did he do something? Did she do something that, you know, was a nonverbal something? Oh, what did this sound like? Then I started listening on the sound bar, the anti-lag. I'm like, that shit sounds like Gran Turismo, because GT7's anti-lag is, you rev, it's like, and it just constantly goes. And every time they rev those cars and let off, the anti-lag was just, I'm like, God damn, they did a good freaking job with this shit. It was no fake blow-off valve noises. You only heard blow-off valve with the Chaser because they were street cars. You know, but man, when it got to them pro cars, all of the other shit, dude, it was so tight when you look in the background and see smoke coming up in front of the cage and all of the shit. That's why when you said that they were driving, I said they had to have been, because it was too perfect that they're adding in these elements.
No, they were driving, man. They were driving. You can see in the WitchCon, you see Kawabata and WitchCon like telling them, hey man, when you because they're probably telling them, like, they're not even actors, Nakamura and those guys, but they're saying this is how it should look. You shouldn't be with your hands at like fucking in the middle of the wheel, outside, thumbs. Don't lock your thumbs, because if it snaps back on you. You know what I mean? It's going to take your thumb with it. And
I've ripped plenty fingernails off the meat. Yeah, when I was first learning.
But no, man, they definitely, man, they nailed it. And, with this, man, the reason why, again, the director is a good dude. and and it's not a lot of people. I mean, like just a genuinely good dude, man. Like he's just, and the thing about dude, he never, and like you said, this dude, people would think this guy is a car enthusiast. He never fucking seen drifting in his life until he met with the cast, and he's like, all right, this is drifting. That was his first time. Like, how the fuck do you make something this good? You know. But at the same time, like I say, Scorsese, all those guys, they're gonna make their pros at what they do.
He saw something that blew his mind, and when it blew his mind, he said, "Nope, I can't do this like that. I got scratch, audible. We gotta film it a whole nother way, baby, because this shit crazy."
Yeah,
I love that. That's what drifting, the sport itself, brought out of him.
Yeah.
Because the storyline's a storyline.
Yeah.
The main character is this sport that they're doing.
Right, bro. It's, I'm just excited because I got a chance to do what I did, and I just know it's just it's just one of those cool things where we're already like everybody has already peeped it, and we just sitting back. And then one day, somebody, you know what's gonna happen, man. It's one of the influencers. One of the influencers is gonna get a hold of it, and then they're gonna.
Yeah, I was about to say, what's gonna happen is we already seen it,
and then they'll start searching for it, and then like, oh fuck, they already got content up there. Like, yeah, because we knew about this shit. You know what I'm saying? We knew about it, and then like they're gonna start searching. Right now, if you search, there's my review and another dude from Greece, and that's it. That's only like a couple reviews. That's only 1 or 2 reviews from an English speaking standpoint on YouTube.
That's why I did yours with the link with the cinematographer, because it's English spoken conversation about this movie, and everybody could digest it. Yeah. And I was, this shit the movie is dope.
And he lives in California, by the way.
He needs to come holler.
Yeah.
I hope that it gets in theaters here, even if it's limited.
Yeah. Well, I think they're gonna just stream.
Dude, that's cool. Yeah. Because what's going to make it a cult classic is like Initial D. Initial D is niche. No matter how many of us know about it, we're a small group of people that know about Initial D.
Right.
And you can meet every day that has no idea what Initial D is.
You mentioned something that I didn't even think about, and the whole time I'm pumping this, you said this is the first professional drift movie.
Drift movie.
Full feature film. Like, that's true. That's like FD hasn't done, D1 hasn't done it. I mean, nobody's done the D1 GP,
D1 movie.
Yeah.
And they put an iconic chorus of Ebisu.
Yeah. That was it, right? It got right after they filmed it, that's when they chopped it up, turned it back to dirt.
So that's the part of culture that was so important. They captured it. They captured it in the right way, in the best way. It doesn't exist no more. So you cannot replicate that. It was filmed dope. It was ran dope. It was ran fast. It wasn't slow-mos and cars dragged along by trailers at angles.
Or sped the fuck up 200%.
No.
Now there were a couple. They increased a little bit on it was one scene because the camera you could tell that they were the camera. You could see when there was a couple pixel moments, and they left it. That was raw, man. That was like if you make a video at nighttime, GoPros when that sun start going down, that footage gets shitty.
But we also grew up on Thunderbolt and all that shit, and we know 200% sped up videos.
Yeah, and it wasn't like that. Yeah, it wasn't no 200. Maybe it was like 15% bump to and there was only a couple scenes, but it wasn't everything. So yeah, man, there's actual real speed, and the thing about it don't even that. With the thing about it, I'll talk to some people. They was like, however fast it seems on camera, it's faster in reality.
Sure. Yeah. People don't understand that about drifting. Yeah. And like the same thing with motorcycles. If it looks fast on camera, it's absolutely fucking terrifying. Yeah. And so it's like, cult classics are great because same thing like Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt wasn't in theaters out here. All those Jackie Chan movies where there was car racing action American market never got that. That's Hong Kong. That was out there. So that's cool as hell if this movie becomes that.
Oh yeah.
That's what's gonna make it even more of a classic.
Right.
Because when the people finally get it, it's not gonna be them finally get to it and say, "Oh, that was alright."
Yeah.
Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift was better.
Bro, my phone said, like, I'm talking about, you know what I mean? Even there, everybody's like, yeah, I didn't like how shy the dude was, but that shit was dope. Like, my phone is just, yeah.
Only you can say about it.
Yeah, that's it. But that's because if they came here and lived there, they would know, oh, that's just a regular Japanese dude that's docile, not talkative. Yeah, go ahead.
Even though he was so docile and everything, that motherfucker win the championship. Not the girl, not the accolades.
He was like, nah, I'm going to go play this game, son.
That part.
Yeah.
Yo, what can we do to get you stay? You know this, you know that? Nope. Nah, that's cool.
Oh, that shit was DJ. I'll give you my daughter and shit. He's like, I'll let you marry my daughter.
Yeah, I'll let you marry my daughter.
That motherfucker's getting desperate. Like,
I'm out.
Yeah.
You know, I'm out, right?
Yeah.
So it was like, yeah, that's funny.
That's
because,
man.
dude was timid and everything, but when Cuz said, shit, nope.
Yeah. That's a trait that, you know, the people like, you know, and I'll, you know, toot my own horn, man. I'm a product of this staying, no matter what, man. No matter what, like, some days get shitty. Some days you're like, what the fuck, man? You know, you sit on the toilet like, man, what the fuck am I doing with this shit? And then, you know what I mean, then it's days like, I mean, no shit, the YouTube, I mean, I didn't post it around. The Yahoo shit. But that shit right there made motherfuckers who even thought, like, nah, man, maybe he doing a little bit, but, like, I didn't have to say nothing. People was tagging my wife and doing this, and I didn't make a single post about it. Everybody just tagged me in it. And I'm like, you know, that shit right there is like, and you know what I did, dude? My wife was like, she showed me. I literally was like 3 minutes. I was like, cool. And then after that, back to work.
Because guess what? What? Don't stop.
Yeah.
Your fucking day and your responsibility.
Back to work, dude.
When motherfuckers literally stop and act like the world's supposed to, because something happened that was
crazy.
I
was shoveling snow. I was moving cars. I was moving cars. Yeah. I was moving cars. When she came up running up to me, and she showed me the phone. Oh, Sugoi, like you Yahoo, because it was like but that thing that one story, that shit's like 30 stories down now. You know what I mean? Right. So like that, you know what I mean? Yeah, they bury that shit.
It keeps happening.
Yeah, shit keeps happening, man. So like but you know, it's funny because you go out to like the corner store or whatever. You go out to the store and then like you start getting like the weird, oh, is that him? Or I'm a black dude with a fucking mohawk. Yeah, it's me. And everything. Yeah. So but I was telling my wife, she was like shocked why I didn't brush it off. She was like, oh, you angry? I'm like, nah, I gotta move these cars before the next snow blizzard comes in. So I was moving cars around, clearing shit out, doing burnouts in my fucking car with 5 pistons, and I'm like, don't blow up, because I had to move it. And I had to, it got stuck in the snow and with the fucking camera and shit. I'm like trying to move the car, but the engine's like about to blow up.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I need to park this car. So I'm like, I ain't got time to be looking at no fucking, or just looking at my picture and shit. Like, cool, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what I look like.
But for me, it's like, my thing is out there is all of the cats who all of a sudden started DMing me and shit. I'm like, nah, son. I archived that shit. That's the best feature on Facebook. Archive. I didn't see it. I didn't click on it. It's archive. You don't touch it. You know what I mean? Like, nah, man. Like, I messaged you 3 fucking years ago about some shit to collab. Now you want to message me now? Like, nah, fuck that shit. That's just a way. I'm gonna forever be like that, and I don't feel bad about it. And people out there listening and watching don't. I mean, there's a time and place where, I mean, yeah, if it's $1 million on the line and you know you'll get this contract if you interact, you gotta do business sometimes to do whatever. But at the same time, if it means going against your character, you don't. So, I mean, if you don't want to collect that money, I'm not going to change me for no amount of money because I can get it my own way. So I'm not going to become somebody's bitch or whatever. And pretty much that's what they were doing. Like, hey, man, I'm ready for you now, so I'll message you. Like, no, you won't.
That's what you tell them.
I told the publication office I'm based to fuck off. I'm like, motherfucker, I hit, well, he wasn't there. I'm like, well, I'm military. I know they don't leave a section open. Somebody fill that slot. So you telling me for 3 months Tim wasn't there, whoever the fuck his name was, You telling me he wasn't there? Like, no, I got the red receipt. He read my email. He read my shit on the Facebook page. Read. That means, no, we don't want to do it. So now it takes Yahoo fucking Japan, my face being plastered on there, for you to be like, oh shit, legit. You know, next time, buddy. Next time.
Yeah.
So the next time I do an event, answer that fucking email. You know what I'm saying? Then you could break the story. I was trying to have them break the story versus Japanese because I'm American.
Right.
So I was like, oh man, cool. You don't want to do it. So literally, I left from the publication office and I hit the dude like, hey, let's do the story, man. Come to my shop. I'll be here this time. Bam, bam, bam. It took about 15, 20 minutes. 72 hours away from that, the shit's online. I mean, that easy. So it's like, hey man, you know, and that's. I mean, I'm saying this to say, I'm not saying this to gloat out there, guys who don't know me first time seeing a podcast. It's like, hey man, don't ignore people, man. Even if you say no, I'm not interested, just say no, I'm not interested, and then move on. But don't and I'm contradicting myself, right? Because I'm saying don't ignore people. But when I previously contacted you, and now you're going to contact me, I don't consider you ignore me. So you started this shit. So I could be like, talk to you, but then that person will be like, oh, I can fuck this dude off and do whatever I want to do, and I can engage when I want to engage with him and all this stuff. This dude called me on the phone off the hook 7:00 at night. Around that time, I got 5 kids, right? Why would you be, you know what I'm saying? Why would you blow my phone up like that? I'm like, nah, dude. And that's what it was. I'm like, if you're calling me in a prime of my business day, yeah, we can, I can do whatever, right? But not 7:00 at night. You know what I'm saying?
Family time, baby.
Not after you had 3 months to get at me.
Mm-hmm.
And not 7 hours after the fucking YouTube shit airs. You too late, dude. Fuck out of here with that shit, man. So, people, I'm getting angry, man. We're gonna wrap this shit up, man. But like, that's just, I mean, life is short, man. As you obviously seen how we opened up the Ken Block stuff. He had, and then we speak like that as humans because, like, if you think about the end, man, that's not a good way to live. To be honest, you know what I'm saying? You got to live to live. And like, he probably had so many plans for his daughter and stuff like that, and blah blah blah. And
his post was his daughter.
Yeah.
He's had plans with it. Imagine being a kid and your father is a corporate businessman.
Yeah. Your whole life is different.
Not home. Now you're old enough to be with him, hang with him. Y'all are homies. You're in the same industry, sharing the same love of these cars. He gets you to love cars that he loves. Now you really love it because he loved it. Now this is something that y'all did together. And he's out of here. Her post, I told people, we were on live playing Gran Turismo when I saw that. The minute it was posted, I said, oh shit, his fucking daughter.
Yeah.
His fucking daughter. You can hear me say that because my mic was on. That was the first thought that I had. He's dead, damn. But his daughter.
Yeah.
Because, we're old. We look at it, we've got...
Bro, that's... Yeah, man.
We've got less days in front than we have behind us.
Yeah.
The kids are different. They have more days ahead of them than there's behind them.
Yeah.
And when you finally get to be with your family, doing it your way, how you want to do
it. That's what everybody works for, man.
Yeah, she's a girl, right? So she's not the boy. Like, my son is with me 24/7. Motorcycles, working on cars, working on bikes, driving the cars, whatever. But that's not the daughter's lifestyle. You got to go into your daughter's world, play dolls or whatever, go shopping, whatever, get nails done, do hairs. But when your daughter is in your world and you get to be around the guys.
And not forced.
It's not forced.
Yeah.
That's a special thing. So when she posts and says, yo, my fucking best friend is gone.
Yeah, and I did see her. I seen her post, man. And I'm like, to be honest, I mean, I know there was some legit, because I seen, for example, that we brought up, I seen McGrath post, right? And McGrath, I didn't know. I don't go back and search people's, but yeah, they've been down for 35 years. That's a, you know what I mean? That's a. I'm talking about. They spend holidays together. Like, they gotta, and the cool thing about him, and you never see, and that's why he did his thing. McGrath, Jerry McGrath, look him up if you guys know who he is, one of the all-time winningest motocross champion, supercross champions, regarded as one of the goats of the industry. he did a lot of shit, but he was all. I mean, there was people posting stories like, "Oh man, I went over to his thing and I didn't get an autograph." This motherfucker probably just lost his contract. He probably it's timing, so you can't expect these guys to be on and being fanfare. But there's 1,000 people out there that had a great experience with the guy and everything, and he's a humble dude. He doesn't brag, but I never once seen McGrath be like hanging with my boy Block today or doing this and doing that, because he's a legend in his own right. Ken does what he does, and he's a legend in his own right. And then you see the people posting shit, and then like, of course, I know I was like, man, 1 day, 2 day, 3 days in, I see all these posts. Oh man, he was a below average driver, and this, and this, and I'm like, bro, it don't fucking matter what he did. Like, you don't know like what it took to get where he's at, man. And you know what I mean?
How the fact that he's a millionaire doing business and decided, fuck that business, I want to go learn this and play here.
Yeah, man. It's guys don't get it. Like, he didn't have to do none of that shit. He did it because he enjoyed it. And guess what? I got a camera, HD. Let's team up with GoPro, get all these cameras, and you see how it progressed, man. Like, I honestly lost.
Dick said?
I didn't see it.
Rob Dyrdek said, bro, we used to be on the block eating chips, drinking 40s, scheming, just trying to get ideas.
Yeah.
You took the idea of making skateboard skits, which launched my career, which turned MTV into what it is. Rob Dyrdek is the most check-getting this motherfucker at MTV.
Yeah.
That's all Ken Block's media imagination.
Yeah. And
that started Robin Big.
Yeah.
The skits, all of that shit.
Yeah, because they said that's one thing they said about, and again, it's weird, man. It's when Ken Block first started making his videos, I had no aspirations to get married. I had no kids, and I was like, oh, that's dope shit, man. You know what I mean? And now it's like weird because I'm a father, man. So it's like I didn't post anything about it. I didn't say anything about it. I commented on one guy's comment who had the same ideas. Every fucking body is out there trying to make the post to see who's the fucking. It's not even about Ken. It's about you fucking got in the picture next to the dude. I'm like, that shit's lame as fuck, man. And people I kind of respect was doing that shit too.
It was some corny ass shit. This nigga take a slow-mo shot. He take a slow-mo shot of him at Grange on the entry. And he put rest in peace, Ken Block. I said, bitch ass nigga, was Ken driving your car?
Yeah. Was he there?
So what the fuck?
Yeah, Ken man. Block? I seen, did somebody, now what's going around now is kind of like, the one guy got a picture of, it was Dale in the clouds. It was Dale Earnhardt and
Paul Walker and
yeah. And then like he got the lamest fucking car ever. Like, I'm gonna control streets down. Like, your fucking shit won't even start tomorrow. Talking about control what streets? You live in fucking Wisconsin, dude. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, so my thing is like, that's why I didn't post. You know what I mean? My thing is, it's a human's gone. Go ahead.
There's no need to post.
Yeah.
He's got a daughter.
Yeah.
He's got business partners. He has employees in the industry that are far more popular than all of us. They will make the post.
Right. And only one. And when I seen their post, when I didn't read it, but I'm like, that's the only one out of. I mean, even when I just said about McGrath, right? They were buddies, cool, and it was a proper post. McGrath doesn't need Ken Block to. He's McGrath. He's put in his bones. He's put in his work. He don't need another man to boost him up. So his people like that, I know is genuine. Rob Dyrdek, I know is genuine because they were boys, and people don't really even know. Honestly, you look at him, like, I didn't know he was 50, 55, and then the DC shit, 84. Like, I'm fucking 83 is when I was born. So he was doing fucking a year. So he's been in it. He's been in it. He's been in it, dude. He was around before Woo. He was around before Mobb Deep. He was around before all these motherfuckers, man. And the thing is, man, as hard as I don't want to think about it, man, but hard as I fucking work daily and do what I gotta do to set my family up, it's gonna come a point in time, man, where this life, man, is unavoidable. It happens, but you want to, And then I told my buddy, I'm like, it was deep because I'm talking to my motocross dude, and he was like, I was like, well, I'm not gonna stop. Are you gonna stop? He was like, nah, I'm gonna keep riding.
Fear. And now check this.
Yeah.
Ken Block just was vocal with saying those things.
Yeah.
He would vocally say, fuck death, look fear in the face. He would say all these kinds of things like that, right?
Yeah.
But although it's unfortunate that those things,
you should think about the family.
Do though, that is true. Because if you are looking at and fear death,
you're not gonna go nowhere, man.
Exactly.
You're gonna be, dude. I've done some shit. Even since I've opened this business, bro, I've done some shit where if it went down, it would be me. You know what I mean? I wasn't endangering nobody and shit, but it was like, you know what I mean? I gotta do what I gotta do to get this object where I gotta get it, so I can get this money and continue on. If I didn't do that, you know what I mean, I wouldn't be here talking to you right now because I'd be all closed up and business boarded up and shit. And I'm not killing nobody. I'm not stealing any money, but I'm taking calculated risk that if I didn't take, you got to do that, man. And that's where I think the separation in life, man. Like, hey, man, this car ain't driving properly, but I got to get this shit to go over here to do that. And
think about it this way.
Yeah.
And you know this, my brother was a very safe, don't do anything exceptionally out of the ordinary, sketchy man.
Right.
And he died in his sleep.
Right.
The fuck I'm a fear.
Yeah.
Guess what? I could die in my fucking sleep. I'm going out when I go out on everything, ain't nobody going. I guarantee you, anybody that knows me, when I go out, and I hate talking like this because I don't want to.
Right.
What he just said a couple months ago, and then you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But bro, I'm living it, dog. I'm fucking living it, B. Everybody's worried about everything. Everybody was so worried this week. The news is saying it's a life-threatening, dangerous cyclone coming to California. I'm the first one to say, fuck all that shit, y'all pussy. I'm scheduled to go to work, so guess what the fuck I'm gonna be?
Right.
I ain't about to be hidden in the house waiting for a rainstorm. Fuck that storm. Fuck all that, right? And that's how I am with everything. You know, the day that I was going to go up, because that was part of this storm, the day I was going up to Thunder Hill, I thought I heard a wheel bearing fucking start screeching in the truck. It was just mud that got on the situation, but I almost contemplated not driving up 2.5 hours, 167 miles to Thunder Hill. I was like, oh, wheel bearing just went. Guess what? Fuck that wheel bearing.
If it goes, we'll deal with it. Because that's the thing right there, man. That's the now that there's moments when, like, you know what I mean, there's certain things and certain objects and certain whatever. It's like, hey man, like, it's just not, you just gotta knock it off. But if there's a chance, like, we doing it. If there's a chance, if there's a fucking chance, we're doing it.
Yeah.
We're doing it.
Some AutoZone up ahead.
Yeah.
And I have somebody Uber that fucking to me, and I'm gonna change out of the road if it go out.
Speaking of that, this funny as you mentioned that, and we got a BCU and all that stuff. We talking about Live Hoon. I had this situation like this, wheel bearing. I just paid for the event. There was D1 divisionals at a BCU, and I right before I did my checks and I went to go check the wheel bearing, I noticed a little bit of play where it's not supposed to be. Right, I'm like, fuck. And then also I noticed I did remember hearing the sound. I'm like, let me check the wheel bearing, and I shook that shit like. It ain't supposed to fucking, you know what I mean? A little bit of this way is kind of for the tension rod, but this way is not good. That ain't good, right? So I'm like, fuck. So what I did, man, is I took some extra grease, and right before I went, I just took the wheel off. I just like kind of like, I know it wasn't gonna work, but I tried to smash the grease into the bearing. What happened? The grease was going out, so I tried to smash the grease in there. I put the wheel on. I drove. I loaded my car up, my S13. Was the 180? Yeah, it was the 180. It was a Seal 80. I loaded that bitch up with all the fucking tools, everything, blah, blah, blah. I get down and the shit's getting louder. Then I'm like, fuck, I start seeing smoke, right? So I pull over. I had pink wheels, dude. The wheel was pink. When I pulled over, the fucking wheel was black.
Oh, God. Yeah,
black.
Yeah.
So I pull over and shit. I mean, that shit's smoking and paint chipping off. That wheel is hot as fuck, right? I'm like, fuck, man. So I let it chill off, pull the wheel off. I pull the whole bearing apart in the parking lot. This old dude's looking at me. I pull the whole thing apart. And I just like squirted all the fucking grease in there. I got about another 10 kilometers, man. That shit was gone. And I'm like, and I'm talking about this time, it was like really starting to smoke. It was like fire starting to happen, right? And then I'm like, I tried. I got 3 hours away, man. I was 1 hour away from Ibisu. So odds are, even if I got there, I wouldn't have been able to compete because the shit would have locked up on me, right? So, but I'm like, dude, yeah. I'm like, all right, I didn't get. I'm like, I tried, dude. I got 4 hours away from home. I'm talking about not a trailer. I drove the car, put the car on the ground. I did that for years, and I'm like, I tried, dude. I'm talking about the shit was not, the wheel wasn't spinning anymore. It locked, it seized. So when I drove into the parking ride, the wheel was dragging the one side. So I'm like drifting, pushing the car, and the people looking at me and shit. I'm like, it's like, and it's like locking and then rolling and then locking and rolling. And then I just parked it. Like, I called my dude Mike. I'm like, hey Mike, and he's Mike's always Mike Hendricks, man. He's one dude that I call, and anytime Mike calls me, unless my kid is dying or something like that, I'm hey man, where you at? All right, cool, let's make it happen. But I hit him up like, hey Mike, my shit is seized up. I need a S13 knuckle and witchcom because the bearing is seized on it. I can't get it off. I need a whole assembly. And so Mike had one laying on the ground. Like, I'll be there. Where you at? Give him the GPS coordinate. And I just ate donuts until they arrived. The shit, man. No heat in the car, and none of that shit. So yeah, man. So
man, don't do that.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, a lot of people with all this,
they be like, oh no, Will Bring, I'm gonna quit.
All of this shit, this woes me shit with Ken. You gotta understand, this is a nigga that did it his way.
Yeah.
Right? He had his way with life. The shit that he did in this lifetime, there's really 2 or 3 lifetimes needed for regular safe cats to do.
Yeah.
Right? Made a lot of friends, shifted industry, shifted culture, dabbled with motorsports, dabbled with dirt bikes.
And the thing, somebody say he was like decent or above average at all of them.
Right.
Yeah.
So you know what they say, jack of all trades, master of none, but then there's that extended version of it.
Yeah.
But the thing is no, I dabbled in it all and I had a great fucking time in it. And unfortunately, a leisure activity took me out. Now, guess what I did? I already set up. You know, people will say,
that's what I said. I said to my buddy, the same what you're about to say. I was like, sucks, man, family man, but like his family's taken care of, man.
Family's taken care of.
I've already, as a man.
Yeah, I've already set my family up, and I have jump started my daughter into this world. So now she's already known in this world. Sure, she can stand to be around me a couple of years with this guidance. But guess what's gonna happen? Everybody that love me, you must, like I tell all the time, and these are real conversations with me and Mike and shit like that. I don't give a fuck what happens to me, but I guarantee you better not let my son be out here with no guidance.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, nigga, you're closest to him, you're up the street. You bop down here and see what's going on, what's shaking.
Right.
Talk about, you got problems with anything, figure it out.
Yeah.
So all these people around Ken that made these posts, you get around that daughter.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, dude, do what you fucking said in that post, because they be like, I got you, and this, and this. And you know, it's like, bro, that's the point I didn't. He's like, you know, I didn't know, I never met him. He was in Japan a couple of times while I was here, but I didn't go down to the event. My track owner guy, my MSP Masnori, he won the event, the Ken Block Tokyo thing. And yeah, man, it's like, it's weird, man, because it's like, man, I'm thinking, my mind goes a whole different, like, it's all the car stuff, cool, but it's like, man, what was, you know, I'm thinking, man, was it instant? Did he have time to, like, you know, was it slow deal, or like, was he, because it's like, if it's instant, then you can't even think about family. It's like, shit happens, lights off.
But as you think, you know, and we're going into a whole other thing, but as you that, right, your consciousness and everything has to shift from where it's at.
Yeah.
When something instant happens, right, And some people say that's how ghosts come, or people that weren't ready to let go, that didn't know that they passed, type shit. Like, say, like my brother, he went to sleep. He didn't know he passed, right? If they're tormented, some say they stay around. If you didn't know, or it was like, boom, fuck, that hurt. God damn, what the hell going on? Shit, let me pick up my shit. But then you notice, like, oh, wait a fucking minute, that's me over there. Oh, nigga, am I dead? You know what I mean? No, ain't no fucking way that just killed me.
Yeah.
There's no fucking way I didn't been this close to death so many fucking times. You telling me that dumbass shit just took me out?
Right.
So then that's when it's like, oh, my family, oh, my, you know, then I'm just assuming a consciousness would do that, because as consciousness or worldliness, you think about self first. Damn, I just got fucked up. Oh, then it's like, oh my God, I'm not going to be able to see my family no more.
Yeah.
Oh my fucking God, my kids. Yeah. Oh my fucking God, my wife. And then you go through all of those things, all of those feelings. That's what I believe happens. But it's like, yeah, if shit is fast or slow, you never do. There's so many things that we look at on the internet where it's like, that motherfucker did not know that was his last 30 seconds on this planet.
Yeah.
Ain't no way he knew.
Yeah.
When he got up, ain't no fucking way he was going to consider today is going to be it for me.
Yeah.
And it's going to happen today. Probably about 2:35 when the sun's up and I'm thinking about doing something else. That's not it. That's not how we operate, right?
You can't.
Here, motherfucker, don't do that.
Yeah, you can't. It's not even. I don't even want to. Even I mean, I don't want to. You know, but I think we're in the mindset to know like that. That's it's not. That's a possibility. That's fucking life, man. It's like, you know, Caesar and Alexander the Great. They ain't fucking around today. What happened? They fucking went around like 80 fucking whatever 100,000, not 100,000, but they were around a long time ago. You know, they did their thing, they had their fun, and then, like, you know, so that's the only thing, man, you know, about the whole, you know, getting into philosophical and life stuff is like, you know, it's like, fuck, man, it's like you want to be around forever, but at the same time, people say, like, then that creates the point of like, you're not like go getter, because you know you're gonna be, if you're gonna live forever.
If are you trying to live?
Yeah, you're gonna be like, I can get to it next week. I'll get to that shit 2 weeks from now. Like that shit ain't promised, man.
Think about motherfuckers that we knew that were just like legends in the street. Little Billy Bo Bob James, he jumped any fucking ramp. He used to jump off all the cliffs into the creeks. Yeah. He used to swing from tree to tree on the top. He would do the craziest shit, right? That built legends. But think about it, us men, as we grow up from boys to men, from boys to teenagers, that's such a short time period. If you was doing all that wild legendary shit from 5 to 8, and that was it. After that, you just nothing.
Yeah, no.
Play chess.
What have you done lately? Type shit.
Where's the legend go?
Yeah,
you were legend. This is a person that was legend from day one to day none.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Yeah,
you know?
So and it's that's the cool thing about the daughter being I mean, she was like, you know, active. She can actually, she probably don't, because people would think, well, they're putting out the content, don't mean they're consuming it, because I don't go back and watch my videos. Like, I put it out there, and then the only time I reference it is if I'm talking to somebody, or is even a point where I need to bring it up. I'll shoot them a link like, hey, I did this 10 years ago, check it out, blah blah. And then they be like, God damn. And then that right there is like that. It's like that timestamps, like, yeah, what you're trying to do today, I did that 14 years ago. And they be like, then that makes it, puts it in, you ain't got to say nothing. They just know that was you 14 years ago, and I just started. And I feel like, to me, this is the most important thing in the world. And it's like, as you get older, then I realized what my mom was saying and what some of my older family was saying, and like, oh, nah, I want to do this. Or like, nah, man, if you're blessed, you'll be around to do that. You know what I'm saying? Don't rush it right now. Like, you got time to do this and everything. You know what I'm saying? Like your son, you were saying, like, he's already doing the styles of the, you know, he's doing the throttling and stuff. Like, he's doing the actions, but like, you gotta grow into that. Like it's gonna click one day, and you're like, oh fuck, I can do this. I don't gotta do a deep feint. I gotta do a shallow feint right back into it. You know what I mean? So it's like one day it's just gonna click, and you're gonna like, if I can do this, I can do that. So you good?
Yep. Yeah.
Man, but yeah, man. We like I literally do like I didn't give a fuck because it's like it's Saturday here, and I wasn't really gonna do any hardcore work anyway. But like I said, it's literally literally the whole shit, man. We had 4 hours, man. It's probably one of our longest one.
Yep. Shit, yeah. We've been. Yeah. So yeah, it's all good. But all that to say this, man. Leave your shit, man. Don't be scared of that.
This is actually a special one, man. Because it's episode 200, man. So it's all good.
Yep. So live it, you know.
Yeah. And again, we opened up with it, guys, and we're gonna close out with it with the Ken Block stuff. I just wanted, I wanted to save what I was gonna say on the podcast because don't want to type it out. And then also there's the ones that did the me and Ken posts, and then there's the ones who called out those people trying to, but they're bringing attention to themselves too. It's like it's the same thing. You're trying to do the back doorway into like people sharing your shit. Yeah, you're right to gloat on it. And then there's a couple guys that literally put somebody put something, and then he put something, and this is a notable guy. He was like, he was like, it's all been said. I ain't got to say it. You know what it is. Rest in peace. It was 3 sentences, and they weren't. They were just like no. It was just like he said what he said, and it was like I don't need to prove that we were bosom buddies and all that shit and blah 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 because it ain't gonna bring him back and ain't gonna get me a deal or nothing. It ain't gonna make me no money, and I respected that. So a few posts I've seen while I've been on the toilet, I respected a few of them, but the other ones I'm like, and again, people who are respecting the industry, I'm like, hey, that's not cool, dude. And then
when I saw it happen in the first 3 minutes of the Hoonigan post, I said. It was just on my story. Nah, yo. That's all I said. Nah, yo.
Yeah. I woke up to it. I woke up to it, yeah.
DMs like, dude, what the fuck? It's so hard because all I said was, nah, yo.
Well, I think I seen yours after Jelani's because Jelani's like, 2003 is, Jelani said 2003 ain't fucking around. So he said something like that. And I'm like, all right, I'm like, give it like a few seconds. I'm going to, because I didn't, you notice you see a post and his was kind of vague. He didn't say nothing, but I was like, man, something happened. Something. Then I hear the renter dude got in a snowplow accident.
Yeah.
Or something like that. And then, I'm like, shit happens, whatever. But it's like, then my fucking timeline, I showed my wife. I went like this, literally. It was block. Block.
Yep.
I'm like, fuck, man.
And like I said, all I put was that night that it happened, that it first got reported at like 5 or 6 p.m. our time. Nah, yo, that's all I put.
Right.
There's no, people that wasn't knowing, didn't know.
Like, you'll see soon.
People that don't know me didn't know what that was, but a lot of people that have been paying attention to me, they know when I'm like, nah, yo.
Yeah. I didn't start searching. I was like, Lex put that, Jelani put that, something happened, man. Then it just, I seen one. I'm like, I was kind of hoping, man, it was one of those dumb fucking, I was like, Chuck Norris is, one of those type deals. And I was like, fuck, bro. I was like, man, it's not, and it wasn't. But again, my thing, and I didn't say before, man, my thing wasn't. Yeah, I know the stuff he's done. I respected Ken for what I respected Ken for. And I had my own reasons where everybody would dug him because, he's saying it's drifting. Like, we know it ain't fucking drifting, dude. We know it ain't fucking, but he's slide. It's like the term was used, the Gymkhana crowd. Oh, that's not Gymkhana. It has to be in a Lotus 7. Like, motherfucker, if you look at it, it is on a bigger scale with a lot more fucking power. He's doing the same shit. He's just in a big-ass parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So that, I remember dudes throwing jabs at him and everything. And I told one guy, too, I was like, I guarantee if I was petty, and I went back and scrolled back. I scrolled all the way back to like 2008. You were one of those motherfuckers talking shit about him. And like, yeah, man, he ain't drifting. And now you're fucking putting the pictures and I seen Ken here. And they're like, come on, dude. I never bet him off the dude. I always like, hey, man, he's doing this thing. I always respect people who are doing cool shit. It don't matter what the fuck you're doing. You got it, Doug.
I first saw Gymkhana on a grip video in Japan.
Yeah,
There in the parking
parking
lot.
lot. Yeah, that was Charlie. That was Charlie Tyson and them. Yeah,
Yeah, donuts around cones and then go here. I was like,
yeah.
oh, this is
So you know
drifting out.
that was Hey Man. That was Charlie and Robbie and all them. Yeah,
And yeah, that's what got me into drifting because we went and stole hella cones from hella construction sites and went and put it in a parking lot and we do Gymkhana, right? So when I saw Ken Block talking about Gymkhana, I was like, that ain't no fucking Gymkhana.
yeah.
That's some cool ass shit though. But what I was like, that ain't no fucking Gymkhana. But then I was like, you know what though? But if people do look it up, they're going to find what Gymkhana is. So eventually he molded it to that is what Gymkhana is. And then it was, yeah, this is exactly what Gymkhana is. It's just way fucking bigger and faster and just American. And, you know, and what his brand is, yeah, kill tires, do this and that. So all that shit is cool, man. Everything is crazy. Don't nobody have to make no fucking post if they don't feel like it. The only posts that I'm looking at are going to be those of Hertz and Vins and Scottos and his daughter and Rob Dyrdek, and those are the posts that I looked at to see. Even Mark Arsenal, and you know Mark Arsenal's my OG, and Mark started working for Hoonigan. Mark has his own brand, Illis Fat Lace,
Right.
but he for Hoonigan as a director or something over there.
Yeah, that's one thing I didn't because I do, you know, it's not that I don't ignore it. People think like because I'm in Japan I can't. I'm like, that's what's the internet's fucking international. It don't unless you're in Korea, North Korea, you know, or somewhere in China where they're really heavily regulating it. Like the internet is international. I can go and look and see what's going on in India right now if I wanted to. So people think because I'm in Japan that I got a border, I got a wall between my IP address and America. Like I can see Final Bout, I can see Winter Jam, I can see what the fuck is going on. So I keep up with it, you know, just to see. All right, that's the temperature, blah blah blah, and I didn't know that he put so many people on, man.
Putting people on,
Left
making
and right.
up, expanding shit.
Yeah.
Brands. I mean, Rob Dyrdek, he was a skater. He is a skater.
Right. And people don't even know fucking Rob Dyrdek is a skater though. That's the funny thing.
I know they just know him.
They just don't even know that he was the man at that shit too. It's just so far removed that, you know, like for example, a dude that's born in a, you know, somebody.
Perfect example.
Jake Paul's a boxer.
Perfect example. Rob Dyrdek is the first Adam LZ.
Yeah.
He was a pro skater that took his pro skating videos, created a lifestyle around it, got into cars, fashion, flashy things, and created an industry around himself with the Fantasy Factory that was just about him doing what the fuck he wanted to do when he wanted to do it. It's the same thing that LZ's doing. LZ's just focused on drifting right now, and he really loves cars. But what he did is create a lifestyle to we've seen that. You and I have seen that before in Bam Margera's, in Rob Dyrdek's. We've seen these types of things happening of a person that their persona and their lifestyle is their bread and butter. That's their commodity.
And the biggest thing, natural too.
Naturally,
natural. Because I actually went back one day. I was what was I doing? I was home. I was home, and the boys, man, they were watching my boys, man, they just like they watch the dudes do like the GTA stuff and they roll the cars and they do the monster truck doing the crazy obstacles and shit. They be into that shit, man, watching that. And then they were watching they actually LZ shit popped up, right? And then I was just, you know, I was like, whatever. I watched it with them. But they pulled up an old video back when he had the BMW and they were riding like the BMX bikes on a wet BMX course. And like this is back before the car he wasn't even cars was like he had a BMW, but he weren't drifting, he wasn't racing, he wasn't doing none of that. It was just BMX. And they were going to the BMX park and they were doing like tricks with the kids and all that stuff like that. So it's like, it's cool that he took that group. So his foundation went from the bike people over to cars, and then now he's done himself. So it's almost like we're seeing. it's like we're older, right? So we're seeing LZ kind of do what Ken did, like kind of, you know, it's like he shoes and clothes and skateboarding. All right, accomplish that. Move on to this. Bring that whole mass up to this, and then convert those BMX guys to car people. It's like that shit's dope. And when people ignore that or try to blow it off, like, dude, you're just a fucking hater. You're underachiever, man.
Remember with the Fantasy Factory? Oh no, let's just say Rob and Big. That was before Fantasy Factory. We knew Rob as a skater. We liked Rob's personality and skits and videos from the skating. Then they did Rob and Big. And then people are like, why don't you do more skating in the TV show? And he's like, that shit is, okay, well, I'm doing a TV show thing right now. This is what I'm having fashion. We're doing lavish things. And this is a lifestyle we're living. We're partying. We're doing it up. Playboy bachelor in LA, just living it up. It was a lifestyle that he was getting across to people. You know, the skateboard thing, that's what y'all know me from. That's what I did. But now I'm into the finer things, man. We getting this shit. We doing, I want a mini horse. Yeah. He said he sold the show to MTV. He said, nigga, I want a mini horse. They said, nigga, hell nah. He said, hey, well, I'm going to tell you this. When them cameras roll to film the season, there's going to be a motherfucking mini horse, B. They're like, what? He said, I don't give a fuck what you talking about. I'm going to get a fucking mini horse. So if you send some cameras with me, the cameras is going to see a fucking mini horse, yo. And that's what he did. He did what the fuck he wanted to do. And that's what LZ's doing. That's what Block did. So that's what I'm all about. I'm all about people doing what the fuck they want to do, man. Have it
in this world, man, when they try to lock you down and all that stuff, like I'm kind of becoming like a thorn up here, man. Cause I don't wear a mask. Like unless I'm in a tight ass spot where like I don't know what the fuck these motherfuckers got, I'll put it on. But I'm like, if I'm in an open environment, open store, I'm like, my wife don't even tell me anymore. She gave up on it. I'm like, I'm not fucking putting that mask on, dude. Y'all constrained to this bullshit. Japan loves this corona shit, by the way. Their culture, the way their culture is, they want to control, but they want to do it passive aggressively. So this corona allows them to control big time. Like you go into any store here, they got fucking, it looks like a prison. Like you're going to visit is like fucking glass, plexiglass and windows. I'm like, bro, to buy a fucking Snickers.
Yep.
To buy a fucking Snickers, son? Like, come on, man. Like, and then, like, the shit pissed me off where you normally put the money in your hand. Now they put it in this tray. I'm like, now I got to try to fucking dig this shit out. My fingers are fucking cold.
Coins up.
Yeah. I'm like, man, what the fuck, man? So it's like, you know what I mean? Unless there's a strict, I mean, I'm talking about, like, there's one place in town where until you get, yeah.
I haven't touched money in 2 years, 3 years.
Yeah.
Because of that, putting money in the tray, put your stuff in the tray. It's like, man, here, scan my fucking card. Give my card back.
Yeah.
I haven't touched money in years.
Yeah. It's just, man, it's just, my thing is like there's, you know, saying all we said about Ken and all that stuff, man, is like even with all the masks, there's a certain thing in the universe, in the world where like it's not about answering to somebody, but you do got to, not check in either, but everybody got to pay taxes, right? You pay taxes, right. Like it's like, okay, well you're not. So some people try to act like, even Floyd Mayweather try to act like, you know, sometimes people don't like that way. Like he acts like, you know, he's untouchable. He's, you know, like, bro, everybody gotta pay taxes. If you avoid the motherfuckers, you end up like Wesley Snipes, a fucking Hollywood star that's in jail because he evaded taxes and he have a good enough lawyer to get off. And now, you know, he kind of came back a little bit, but it's like everybody kind of, and something that sucks is everybody kind of got to answer to somebody or some system or something. You know what I mean? And that's down to your daughter. You're answering to your daughter to do what she want to do with those Barbies. It's like, so you, so it's like nobody out there ain't, you know, even with me. I mean, I know what I'm doing. I know my zone. I know how far I can push it with certain things. And it's like, you know what I mean? It's like, that's not my zone. I don't got the bank account to support that. So it's just like, hey man, I got to get down with it, or I just got to find another way. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But at the same time, I'm with my business, you know, it's like I can decide if I want to work on this car or not, because you're being a problem, and the money I'm going to get from this is not worth this problem, man. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it doesn't matter if it was 50K. It's just like you're a problem, dude. I can make that 50K for the customers and not have a problem. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. So I mean, I can pick and choose on that aspect, but I can't pick and choose on how much taxes I pay. I got to pay taxes in Japan. I got to declare taxes in America. I got a wife, 5 kids. You know what I'm saying? Who are waiting for me right now, and you know what I mean. You know, they're expecting me to do what I got to do. They don't give a fuck about how hard my day was, to be honest.
That's the other part. That's a whole nother story. That'll get into Andrew Tate type stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Shit can go, you don't understand how hard our days be sometimes.
Yeah.
Guess what? Who give a fuck? I'm about to go do what the fuck I want to do.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, man. I sit in the car for a second. If it's one of those days where I go in the door and then just hearing, like we talked about before, just hearing their daddy's home and all that stuff is like that right there, just crossing that threshold, man. Like you won for the day. Everybody's safe. You know what I mean?
You did. You went out in the world.
Yeah.
You had to do. Came back, sat in the front for a minute. I do that shit too. I pull up right there, park, just sit there with the heater running, or maybe if it's a nice breezy day with the windows down, take me about 25, 30 minutes just sitting right there by myself. My time, me time, right? They did what everybody
hit some news feeds,
It's a quiet time. And then I march in the house, whether the family's home or not, but I march in the house, and then it's the honey-do list maybe, or it's the, hey, Dad, can I do this? Or then Nicole, Daddy, did it. But it's whatever, but then it's their time. But that's how our days go. Yeah.
And then, like, I don't want to paint it, because there's been some times where that shit is that, you know, type of day where it does carry over, but then, like, you got to be, you'll self-check, like, hey, man, like, it's been times, hey, man, like, you know, get your ass down from there and do this. And then the kids, they just, like, they get startled and shit. And it's not, and then, like, you see their face looking at me like I look like a fucking monster to them.
Like, damn.
Yeah, it's like, I was like, oh, man. I was like, then I'll go over there and you know, they're doing some jumping from sofa to chair and shit. And I'm like, yeah, get down, you know, because my son just got poked in the eye the other day, and he had, you know, eye turned red and shit like that. And because I told him to be somewhere, he wasn't there. And then sure enough, my daughter fell. Like fucking what's that movie, Final Destination? She fell, tripped over my wife's foot, and a book, the hard edge book, those hardcover books, little kid books, fucking flew out of her hand and hit him in the fucking. He was under the bed. He climbed under the bed, and then that book met him in the eye. I'm like, dude, it's like wrong place, wrong time, man. And he hit him, and he started fucking crying uncontrollably. And then I thought he was just like over, and then like about 10 minutes later, he got his eyes start turning the little red, and then we went and got to the eye doctor, and they put some medicine in. He's all good, man. Yeah, man. Then he's still running around and shit, man. It's like you know, so we spend most of the time trying to, like, I don't want to be in the ER, dude. Chill the fuck out. But then, like, you realize, dude, there's kids, and then again my mind plays back. I'm going morbid as hell, man. It's like, you know, I'm not gonna tell this young boy to sit down, because you know, I don't want to get to that point. And I man, I'm kind of, no shit, man, I never got emotional like this before, man. But like, it's like there's gonna be that moment of time somebody's gonna experience that. I never experienced it. I don't want to even think about it, man. But you know, life happens, kids pass on, and I can only imagine, man, like a parent's feeling like screaming at their kid to sit down and shut the fuck up, and now you just want them to say anything, man. And,
hey, yo, my guy, my cousin, my nephew died.
Yeah, I remember that, man.
Yeah, he's playing basketball. He didn't feel good. They went and got something to eat. He got something to eat. Then he said he had a headache. They went to sleep. He woke up. He said he had an even worse headache. They took him to the doctor. Next thing they know, he dead. Right? Now,
fuck, man.
He's a little kid. He was 16. But he was their oldest son, so now they start depending on him. Go take your little brother here, take your sister here, grab this for your little sister, do this, do that. So now it's to the point where, like, all right, you're an assistance to us. But as they raised him and, you know, trained him into don't have these attitudes with your little siblings and all of this, they went through all of the hard part. Now he's the good kid. You know what I'm saying? Shit happens, yo, and then you be sitting there like, oh my fucking God. Like I know me, and I'm the coldest person. Like nothing phases me.
Yeah.
But walking up to my nephew's casket that I literally just saw at Jelly Belly, we had a birthday party 3 weeks ago. And I'm looking in this casket and I'm like, damn, this little child is dead. This little child I've watched grow up. This little child that his mama get mad at his daddy, and his daddy's at my house chilling, and she come and just leave him in his baby's in his bassinet on my fucking porch, and then flatten all my boys' tires. Bitch, what the fuck is he gonna do with 4 flats?
Yeah.
And a baby that you just left?
Yeah.
You know, I've watched him since then.
Yeah.
And we did everything we could to protect him on a lot of shit, and now he's dead.
Yeah,
and I'm that a lot of those things, a lot of shit, death don't faze me. But when I saw that kid there, I said, "Ooh, I never wanted to cry before." Like,
yeah, man. Just thinking about that shit, man. It's like it's being a dad, man. Yeah,
wanted to, like, ooh, I cry, like that feeling.
Yeah.
But when I stood there, so I said, "Oh shit, nigga!" I had to look around, like, God dang, I really wanted to fucking cry, yo.
Yeah.
I'm like, I walked back, but that's the thing. And then a couple years after that, so imagine like my father walks downstairs and my brother's just on the couch cold. My daddy finds his son dead. You're like, what the fuck? I did a great job raising my boys. What happened? I thought it was cool. And then, he has to do all of this. No, he's dead. He's dead. He's cold. He's dead. He's swollen up now. He's bloated. No pulse, this, that. Now I got to call my little boy, tell him his big brother's dead. You know what I'm saying? And again, emotion hit me. I wanted to cry. I just started firing on shit. I probably tried to punch a hole through the couches and shit. My wife is looking like, yo, what the fuck is going on? Because I ain't tell her yet, but it's like those kind of things. So when you look and you tell these kids, like I had to tell my son, so these little niggas tried to jump him and all kind of shit. Like I've had so much shit going on since our last time.
Yeah, man.
So these little niggas try to jump him and all this other little shit. And I'm just like, things happen. He had 2 altercations. Very weird that these things happened kind of like back to back. And the first one, I told him, hey, my guy, your task is to maintain your safety and this family's comfortability. If you don't maintain your safety, I'm coming. Guaranteed. It's hands down. There's no questions. I'm coming. I'm on my way. But guess what happens when I get there? Everything's dying, right? So guess what happens when I do that? Everything that's with the family is going to change because I'm going away.
Right.
So please play your role, play your part. Let's make a nice, calm, happy life for us that starts with you and that ends with all of us being happy, right?
Right.
In the second situation that happened, he calls me before it happens. Say, yo, Pop, this dude's looking at me. They're walking over here to me. I said, put me on speakerphone. It was like one of them Liam Neeson Taken moments.
Yeah.
They're coming up on you. Where you at? I'm in Safeway in El Cerrito. All right, put me on speakerphone. And I on God, I swear to God, any nigga do anything, I'm on my way right fucking now. But I swear to fucking God, if anything go on, it's about to be crazy. What I suggest everybody do is relax. Like I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying? Then I hear dude, hey, you, and I'm like, Jalen, how old is this motherfucker? I don't know, he's like 17, 18. Okay, what's he look like? So I'm trying to get it off because I'm like, shit, I don't know if he has the understanding to diffuse situations. I don't know if he knows how to. Can I diffuse it on the phone? Nah, if the kids are really about it,
because they don't care.
Right? But so then I was like, you know what? Let me stop barking and let me listen. I need to hear what's going on. And then when the kids say, "Did you say this and that?" Huh? No. Oh, and then he's on. I could hear that he was on the phone with somebody else, and I instantly knew. Okay, thank God that nigga's a sucker. So I'm like, okay, Jalen's fine. He'll be fine. Because if the dude's talking,
he just would have did it.
Yeah, exactly. You and I, we know this, right?
Yeah.
But he ain't fired on him yet. Jalen's all right. So he's like, but then Jalen starts, man, I didn't, Jalen, shut the fuck up. If he says say sorry, just say sorry, nigga. And it's it, right? It doesn't matter what happened or what, he is sucker, he ain't do nothing, but don't make no sucker do something.
Yeah.
Right? If he jamming you up and he's just telling you apologize to the person, then apologize to him and get the fuck on. Get away from them.
Yeah.
Because again, like I told you, if I'm coming for one thing.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Right.
You go that way. I'm going this way. What did they look like? How many? Okay. What color's outfit? All right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what they, that's the thing, man. Like, that she's saying is true, man. It's like, they don't understand, man. Like we make decisions daily, man, and like the decisions we make to take care of what we got to take care of and keep ours, man, could potentially is going to have consequences, man. So I tell them, I'm telling them, they're 6 and 4, they don't understand English fully, and I'm like talking to them straight English, like don't do that. Like I told my wife, why you always telling them to sit down? I'm like, dude, because when we go to the States, ain't no fucking running around my aunt's house. I ain't seen her in 15 years, but I know the fucking rules. Ain't none of that shit. Ain't no jumping from this chair to that chair, because they gonna slap the shit out you, and I'm not gonna do nothing because they're family.
You're looking at me like whoa.
No, they're the only, outside of me. I mean, they ain't killing them, but you know what I'm saying. And they probably wouldn't. But it's like I'm trying to teach them, and then when we go to their mom's house, I blew up over New Year's because I'm like they're just running around. And then her sister and I'm trying to chill. I'm trying not to raise my voice in the mom house because I've done it before. And I'm like trying to be cool. Hour in, I'm like trying, hey man, sit down, man, sit down. And then I just fucking snap like, man, sit your ass down, stop running, like right here. And then mom was like, relax and this and that. And then like the thing is, her brother, they got 2 older kids, and then our sister has an older daughter, so they're done with they're done that. They're not having kids no more. So I could see them being uneasy about my kids running around. Then it's like, if I don't fucking say nothing, it feels like I'm just letting these rugrats run around. And I told my wife, I'm like, man, it's probably gonna be honestly the last year, because I don't want to be. I was trying to be in good spirits, and then like I got pissed off instantly. And it's like, it's more so because I know the vibe, and then like they're not gonna say nothing. They just got this little grin on their face or whatever. It's like, you know what I mean? Oh man, their kids, they got too many kids. Because her mom said that shit, and I kind of like, I was like, fuck you mean too many kids? Like, we got 5 kids, you know what I'm saying? That ain't a lot, trust me. There's people out there with a lot more, man.
Yeah.
And I'm like, another fact is I'll work both those motherfuckers before 1 o'clock in my day. I'll do double the work than your brother and your sister husband. So fuck that shit. You know what I'm saying? So nah, son. And then that whole shit. And I'm actually just gonna I'm gonna break this up, man, because they're gonna be like a 4-hour fucking. So I'm gonna split the shit because we took a turn at some point, and we ain't talk about life no more. So we kind of do that. But anyway, man, I was saying was I told my buddy, I told my guy Alan, I was like dude, I can't be around inferior men, dude. Like there's an energy there that I can feel. They ain't gotta say shit, but I can tell they feel lesser than, and it's like that vibe, man. It's just like that's not what I want to be around, and they just set in their way. They know what they can see what I do. You know what I'm saying? They can look at them and see what I do, but I don't know what the fuck they do. They work at XYZ. I don't want to get too much information out there, but they're doing is common jobs, which is nothing wrong with it. But I can tell that they're thinking, man, my wife want to bang this dude because he's doing this, or my wife want to do this because he's doing that. It's like that's what men think, because honestly, that's what I would think. Like, I mean, if I'm lacking and I'm around some dudes and shit, and my wife see this dude rolling up in this fucking XYZ car, you know what I mean? Let's keep it real, man. She can't think I can't protect her and take care of her. Next, that's human nature, dude. You know what I mean? If your wife felt a certain kind of way about you, probably wouldn't be that. She wouldn't be rolling with you like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
They're watching you control 5 little humans.
Yeah.
And all that shit. It's like, and he's does this all day at work, and he does that, and he.
Right.
You know, that's what shit is. And like what I'm saying with like my interaction with my wife's cousin and family and everybody there at the family gathering, it's like, nah, y'all, you know, alright, everybody, hi, you know, but yeah, I'm not the dancing, funny man. No. Shit gets shaken. Let me know, you know. All this other shit, it's just I'm not with it. Like I'm the type that I look at the room and I scan the room and I'll be like, yeah, I got hands for everybody in here, and if I don't, I know for sure it'll be a tough fucking time for them to, you know, I'm just like that. I'm not trying to make competition.
No, man, that's man. There's a lot of people that ain't here today because the situation we're in was not there, man. Like, you got to know what's around you, man.
So yeah, it's funny, and it's like me with my kids. I'm the same way. My daughter hasn't quite got it yet because I'm very soft on her, but my fucking son, that ain't no fucking way, boy. And on top of that, I taught you, you know the way, and I'm on her now. The only thing I can do is, you know, you get the hey, you know, if I feel like raising my voice like that.
Oh yeah.
The chain of command.
That's a showstopper.
I can look at my son and give him the look, and then look at my daughter, and then look back at him, and that's a nigga. You better get her.
Yeah.
Better get her right fucking now. And it's nonverbal. It's look at him, look at her, look back at him, and then I'll look over at their mama and be like, boy, you know you better fucking, and it's all nonverbal, but you see him getting the action, and then he'll get her, and then she's smiling, and then she looks at me, and I'm looking at her look, and then that smile starts to, and they know, because it's like, I'm not about to raise my voice in nobody's public, and you fucking know better. And even if you don't know what the fuck's going on, if you know you looking at me and I'm displeased, I need to fix something.
Dude, speaking of the public shit, I had a situation, man, where I'm on a military base, right? So everybody on that base that's military, that's been the basic. You can't go past basic. You got to go to some kind of basic. So you've been around a drill instructor, TI, whatever, right? But most people that's been 5, 6, 7, 10, 20, 15 years since you've been at basic, right? So there's no more of that unless you go to SEER or go to PJs or something like that, and you got to go reindoctrinate. They don't really do they don't do the basic shit, but they on you like, hey man, run, you got to do this, you got to do that. But it ain't the basic training is like they're bitching you to make you, you know what I mean? They're trying to morph you if they got to do that. Some people don't need it. I didn't need that, but they can't single me out, so they still did it. But anyway, we're at the fucking commissary. Commissary is a grocery store for the non-military people. So we're at the commissary, right? And my boy, my 4-year-old steps right out into the straight out into. There was no cars coming, right? Steps straight up the curb. I'm like, hey. And then you see all these motherfuckers look at me, and I look at each one of their fucking eyeballs, like, continuing with your motherfucking day, motherfucker. I'll sit. And he stopped mid stride. Mission accomplished.
Yep.
Mission accomplished. And then they looked at me like they oh, how dare you talk? Like, I looked at each one of them until they looked away from me. Like, bitch, I'm gonna talk to my fucking kids how the fuck I want to, and I'm not hitting them. I'm like, hey, stop what you're doing. You're walking into a street. Yeah. And then they kind of they seriously, man, they all gave me this like dissatisfied look and shit. It was 4 people. It was and one Filipino dude. And I looked slowly at all of them. Looked at him, and they broke eye contact within seconds because he's like, oh, this motherfucker don't give a fuck. It's not they don't give a fuck. It's just like my kids, and I kind of could feel that they were looking at me because they were coming out and they were also half breeds, which is not normal to be on base. They were black, half black, half Japanese, and they were just. So I was like, hey, and he stopped, and it was just like I didn't say like, hey, motherfucker, like I was like, hey, I just said, hey. and he stopped right there. No cars coming from both ways, but
Right.
still, I'm like, I want to drill into his head. Street, don't fucking just dash into the street, man.
Yes, sir.
And
Yeah.
they'll be like, oh, and I've seen, I gotta say, I've seen, Caucasian kids running the street. Oh, Timmy, no, Timmy ain't fucking stopping, man. Timmy's in fifth gear, man.
And they getting hit
Full,
by Volkswagens
wide
and
open
shit.
throttle.
Wow.
Yeah.
One time Nicole ran out, which we consider the street, one time. And it was understandable, the situation, but it's acceptable.
Yeah.
And it happened, it was at Winter Jam like 2 years ago. And my wife, she was sleepy, so my wife put her in the back of the Expedition, and Nicole went to sleep. Nicole went to sleep for a while, about an hour or two. When Nicole wakes up, she last remembered being in the garage with us. My wife walked her over, she was sleeping, put her in the back of the truck. She wakes up, she's looking for one of us. She knows she's in the truck, but she's looking for one of us.
Yeah.
However long she was awake, nobody came to see her, so she's crying. She's crying in the truck by herself. So as she's in the truck by herself crying, and then she's looking around and gets up, we don't see her because the truck windows are tinted. So she's looking around and she sees we're in the garage. So now she's missing out on something. Oh my God, they left me alone. She was 3 or 4. Yeah, because she's 5 now.
Right.
3. She opens up the door and starts running from the truck to an active, the cars are going by in and out of the pits, in and out of the garage to the fire lane, essentially. And, when I saw her little self running before she even cleared the back of the truck and the trailer, I'm like, Nicole! And so my wife sees her. Nobody can, because she's way over there. She's got to come way across. She's going to get into the street before we can get over to her. So Jalen knows he's to action. Bang! He runs out. My wife's going, and Nicole's frantically crying, and she's running into the street, and so when I holler her name, then everybody in the you know what I'm saying? Because it's you get that father grunt.
Yeah. It comes out instantly.
Yeah,
there's no warm up needed.
No, sir. That is considered. This is DEFCON.
Yeah.
Get on the fence to get something happening. So boom. So Jalen ran out, got her before she got all the way through, or before another car came. But it was cars coming. So, but other than that, it's like she knows dead ass. And I don't even play in my neighborhood. Is very empty, not many cars driving. But she could be right next to the street. It's like better, motherfucker. You better not touch a toe on that street.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's fine. But she knows she cannot go to the street. And if she wants to go, she asks, "Can I please go into the street with you?" Like if I'm standing in the middle of the street and Jalen's riding up and down, "Can I please come and stand next to you in the street?" No, stay on the curb. Or she'll be going like, how kids do. Like she wants me to hold her.
It was what she said right there, man. A situation with the one thing Japan, blah, it was cool, this safe and all that stuff. They got some weird shit that they do. Like they're not fat people. You know what I mean? They're not like, Americans try to park next to the entrance because they're just fat and lazy for the most part. But Japan, dude, they get in the parking lot and lose all fucking sense of traffic. They dart between. I'm like, bro, I've been there 15 years and I've seen it. They dart like in between. If his parking space is open, they drive diagonally instead of driving like through the fucking the pathways to the parking lot. You go around. Arrow says this way. You go this way. They don't even have that shit in Japan. They just got open T intersections. They just go, and they dart. So I told my wife, stop. I screamed, like, not screamed. I'm like, hey, stop doing that. I was like, she was doing it. They lean forward and they trying to find the closest fucking parking spot to the front door. All of them do it. They all do it. They all fucking do it. And I hate it. But because that, when we get in parking lots, I'm like, get out the car. Do not fucking go nowhere. Don't move. Stay here. So I'm like, when you take the kids out the parking lot, if we're together, I'm there. But I'm like, generally, she never goes anywhere where that's. I'm like, don't do it. You don't go there. Like you can't handle these, but you can't do it. She just can't mentally do it. So we go to get shots, fucking for the flu shit. like 3 weeks ago, and my one boy, he kind of has a habit of when he gets out the car, he does kind of dance around and shit and do 4-year-old shit, man, and like, you know what I mean, he want to try out his legs and shit after 5 minutes of being sitting down. So so he gets out the car, and I know he my 4-year-old likes to jet, and when they do is the most dangerous thing as a kid, they just they dart and they just turn the other way and run. I'm like, you don't know what the fuck. They run into the door, they run into the chair, and
they could just be running across the street to be in front of the store.
Yeah, man. So man, we're getting shots. There was all these fucking cars in there, man, and there was one parking spot open, and this fucking chick pulled straight through, dude. I'm talking about, dude. If my son didn't look, and she would have run him right over, man.
Yeah.
I'm saying if I let him run around, so I'm like, bro, if I didn't check him and he knows to stay by my hip, I mean, she pulled straight through. She didn't stop, break. She just pulled straight through and made a left. They all like fucking, like, I said something, dude, and then like everybody's looking at me in the lot. I just like mean mugging her, dude, and I just fucking staring at him like dude, like you like, bro. It's like you don't know what you're gonna do, but it's like, dude, she would have. It was no time to do anything. If a kid would have got loose, she would have ran the fucking kid clean the fuck over, and kept going. Like, she didn't stop. She just went. You never cut through an open parking spot like that. Like, never. She just turned through that bitch and then trying to get a parking spot, and I'm like, those 50 steps are worth potentially running somebody over, kid or adult, and they just do shit like that, man. So it's like, it's just. My wife don't understand why I'm like I am with certain things, and why I get on them and stuff like that is because, man, like they gotta be programmed, man, to know like this is not cool, man. Don't do this in the parking lot, and they'll, what I mean, yeah. I don't even want to think about that shit, man. We kind of like, so I'm gonna split this up, and because we pretty much been on Family Ties the last hour and a half of this shit. So I'm gonna split up the life. So pretty much from whenever I think it was like 2 hours in, we start kind of going into some other stuff. So I'll split that into a live hoon like recap podcast. So there'll be I don't want to do parts of the podcast. So I'll probably do is end up breaking it up into like the second half would be like 201 that way. So I'll get 2 podcasts out of it because we're at 5 hours and 19 minutes. I think we got a record.
Yeah,
and that's minus like the 15 minutes I took off to go outside. It seemed like 15 minutes probably. About 5 hours, man. So anyway, man, again, as always, man, thanks for the time tremendously because we've been here the longest ever. I know you got, and the stuff I gotta actually, I'm done. I already moved the cars around. I just gotta go get dinner now.
Hell yeah. I have my dinner over here in the cut. I'm gonna go spend a little family time. It's the weekend. Yeah. I'm looking at the car. I've left that car on the trailer. It's been raining like a motherfucker. That car's still on the trailer.
Yeah, I gotta pull the engine out of mine, and I gotta build the engine for the event. So I'm gonna take my car to the live hoon joint on the screening. So I'm gonna have it parked out there, so people never seen a drift car before. So marketing, what I mean. Yes. I told my wife, like, I ain't doing this shit for nothing, son. I ain't doing this shit for nothing. Like, there's, I mean, I'm not being greedy and saying now I'm trying to, like, I'm doing this only for this, but I'm like, I'm doing this because I like it. I know my buddies are gonna like it, and also there's promotion for my business, and
exactly.
I ain't doing this shit for free, man, because I spent money to promote this shit, man. That's ads, advertising, all that shit, man. So time is money. So he knows that too. That's why he ain't tripping when I put my logo on a poster. He's like, oh, cool. He knows what the deal is. I was like, he's a businessman. What I mean?
Right. Yeah.
I ain't asked for a single dime for none of this shit. So, what I'm saying? They know what it is, and that's respected. So it's nice to see that does translate universally. Like, what I mean? You don't expect to be doing goodwill shit and not get nothing. I'm like, there's people out there that do it, but nah, son. What I mean? Yeah, I gotta, and I've done my fair share of charity too. So I don't want to say like I don't help people out. What I mean?
Right. Exactly.
I definitely when it's required. But at the same time, like, we all got issues and problems, man. And if we keep giving ourselves, we have nothing to give to those who matter.
You've depleted your resources. Yeah.
Man. So, but again, man, thanks, brother, for chopping it up for this long time, man. Again, this is going to be a 2-part. So the guys that are at this part of the podcast, there was a whole nother podcast before this. Go back to episode number 200. This is going to be 201. So we got two. Never before have we done 5 hours, and never before have we done 2 podcasts. They got 2 podcasts out of it. I mean, I guess we could have did the other ones, but 3 hours was like, it didn't seem too long. But 5 hours, that's a good amount of time, man. Mm-hmm. Much needed, man. We ain't chop it up since goddamn last year. Like,
I know. Earlier this fall.
Yeah. It was like what, October? That's when we had Andrew on there. So
back days and all kind of extra shit. I've been so damn active.
I figure, man. But all right, brother, I'm gonna get to it. Get out of here, man. Again, this, everybody out there who's been watching, this is Lex King. You're gonna find him on Instagram. I'll put all the stuff down in the bottom, so you guys just click on it and everything. Lex _ King _ 24 Instagram, and then of course KOE Family on YouTube. And get that stuff done. Like I said before, man, like, you know, we ain't got the follows and the subs and all that stuff like that. But I guarantee I'll put out content against anybody else shit that's not some cornball, goonball shit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? That's just not what we do, man. And that's why we vibe on that, because we're not gonna take a rotary and smash it through the windshield to get a few hundred likes. You know what I mean?
Fuck is that guy's problem, yo?
Yeah, dude. I don't like, if you ain't I don't like that fucking, I don't like, you ain't got, I'm not beating around the bush. I don't like that shit. That's me personally, though. I don't speak for everybody. That's just not, again, he could be a great guy, but
he could be awesome, bro.
That type of content, I don't really think, not somebody I would want to hang out with. Yeah, but before we start another 6 hours, we'll get out of here, man. So again, Lex King signing off from Richmond, California. I'm signing off for Pinku Podcast. If it's your first time here, welcome. Go back. They're not chronologically. Goddamn. Chronologically, they're not chronologically ordered, so you can watch them in any order and everything. So Lex has been the most superior. At one time he was a guest, but ain't no more. It's just he's just on here. You know what I'm saying? So, but look out for the next one coming up. So we'll probably like Lex mentioned, Kiyoshi, who's Kyo, who's a cinematographer for life, whom I'll hit up Kyo and see when he's available. Then we'll try to connect and, you know, to have somebody, to get him back on, and, you know, have somebody that's fresh seeing the movie and talk to the actual cinematographer. So pretty cool shit. I mean, and it's not every day you can talk to a cinematographer and a director and have them in your Rolodex. That's just not, for me, it ain't normal. So, you know, I guess it's new shit for me. So, but all right, good. But hey, guys, just check it out. It's gonna be Dinosaur Out, Japan. See you guys later. Peace.